We're alive. We're alive. Gentlemen. What up? What up?
You got a Land Buys jersey on for you? Chill.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
You know that about that, Lou. Hey, Lou, I was gonna ask who grandson he stole that from.
Man.
That's funny.
That's for your time, Lou.
Nah, that's one of the best 30 for 30 docs it is, the Land Buys.
I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it.
Oh, you've never seen that one? That was one of the best ones, Ken. The Land Buys ones.
He died because he did too much coke.
Yeah, the night before, the night after the draft.
I ain't trying to watch.
Nah, it's good though because it give you the context though how like he was like LeBron in his time, bro. Like
that make it even worse for me.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
But that was still just saying though how good he was. That was one of the best ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
That's
crazy.
up there with the OJ one and shit.
The OJs.
He was
the OJ one. The OJ. I think the OJ one is the best.
They did too many OJ docs and TV shows.
Man, they're making a lot of money off white racism. That's all that is. They just
you don't look at it as black liberation, Ken.
They keep making the documentaries because white people keep looking at it and they just keep shaking.
They get madder and madder every time.
They want us to be reminded that we gave y'all one.
Remember this nigga got away? Remember he got
the
away?
one that got away.
Yeah, they done tricked a lot of black folks into thinking he did it and shit.
Oh no, he definitely did it.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it. No how. Exactly. I've seen that Law and Order SVU show too many times to know that nigga done did it all. He just did it at the right time, right place, bro. Right time, right place.
If it doesn't fit, you must quit.
I think it's like Son did it or some crazy shit like that. I don't think he did it.
That man innocent. Hey, Spike, you listen to that Kingpin, Skinny Pimp, and DJ Muggs?
That was new? I thought that was an old song.
No, that was new.
Oh, I didn't know it was a new song. No, I ain't listened to it. I thought it was something old. I will listen to it though.
Check it because I was like DJ Muggs is nice.
He is.
And I just did not expect to see DJ Muggs and Kingpin Skinny Pimp.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was like one of those rehashes they do where they took one of Kingpin Skinny Pimp old verses.
Oh, like a mashup or something?
Like a mashup or something. Okay, that's what
I was trying to look and see if he was involved or not, but I couldn't find anything because when I saw it, I was like, okay, this doesn't seem right. And then I was looking to see if maybe he's worked with Memphis artists before in the past that I missed. But I didn't see any production credits. I did see where he worked with 3 6 Mafia before, but yeah, I didn't fully get a chance to see if it was a mashup or not. But
I'll definitely check it out. I'm gonna listen to that when we get done.
Yeah, I ain't know.
I listen to that before I listen to Key Glock.
You ain't shit, bro. That's why you ain't getting no bottle.
Hey, you owe me, my nigga. Be a man of your word. All you got is your balls and your word. I'm waiting for you when you come down.
Don't disrespect Glock no more, there, nigga. What you talking about? That's another. We try to uplift black men here. You stay putting them down, nigga.
Nah, I just can't listen to him. Yeah,
nah, I'm gonna get you because I owe you 2 bottles, so I'm gonna get you the day I get there. And
you owe 2
the day you leave, yeah.
Hey, what was the 2 bets? You lost 2.
Bad bet, Nick.
One was I went against my own rule. Never bet on a team you don't fuck with. That's what I did.
I got a little liquor case that I just sit them right on my bar.
Well, nah, nigga. You know, there's a limit to it, nigga.
Get that high reposado, that high price reposado. No, I ain't gonna do you like that.
I got a random music.
I ain't gonna let you FIFO me though and bring the Toro in here, like that. Like FIFO hit you with the Toro.
No, that's why the rule was in place, Lou. Was because of that. It was a built-in nigga. It was a built-in nigga. We ain't doing this. that card you about to draw on that, yeah. That's a nigga. We ain't doing this play.
Oh shit!
You gotta set parameters, nigga.
FIFO, that's true. And we all drank that motherfucker though. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was complaining. We were drinking that shit.
People gave him some hooch.
I cussed people out the next morning, bro. I was like, man, what in the fuck is wrong with my head, bro? Why can't I see straight? Jesus Christ.
Hey, boy, you think you about to wake up next to see Cosby fucking with that drink?
Oh shit,
hey, boy.
What was you about to say about music?
Nah, it's a random fucked up question I'm gonna ask and it's just only because I'm in the mood to ask it. You talked about it on deck, I think. I just want to hear everybody else's thoughts. All right. And this is based off of it stems from a Jay-Z question that I had in my head. He's worked with a child molester or a pedophile, right? And he's worked with a black Nazi. Which affiliation is worse?
Kanye or R. Kelly?
Both. It would have to be. It would have to be R. Kelly.
Why?
So that's the question. That's the thing that I wanted to ask about. Is like, is being a Nazi the worst thing in the world to be?
Yes, nigga.
Over a child molester?
Nothing is worse than being a child molester, and he's convicted.
True.
He's convicted.
That's true, yeah.
So that's why it's got to be the child. It's got to be the R. Kelly thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say we've never seen a black Nazi for real. That's why I was like, maybe that's a little bit lesser than because a regular Nazi is like, you know what I mean?
Like R. Kelly, this is the wrong show for, but we know Kanye, something wrong with him. Like it ain't necessarily he's a black Nazi. Yeah, but R. Kelly got a different kind of sickness. Like he got the kind of sickness you need to be locked up for. Kanye got the type of sickness you need to take medicine.
To be locked up for.
Yeah, but I say you can say Kanye need to be locked up too.
No, you just need to take medicine for it. And then you can probably control the shit that Kanye got going on, the shit R. Kelly got going on. Like, go on and lock him up. But I wouldn't lock Kanye up for nothing of the shit he said. I just ask him to go to see a psychiatrist or like take your medicine or something, bro.
Yeah. Go to therapy.
So,
okay.
Yeah, something like that.
But either way, the fact that no one holds that against Jay-Z is the craziest thing in the world to me. He worked with them heavy. He worked with R. Kelly about 3 times on 3 albums.
They got 2 albums. They got 4 albums.
And when that nigga was on the stage, he ain't say shit.
Yeah. 2 full albums.
But one could argue he stepped away when it got to him.
Nah, bro. If you work with someone that exclusive,
Jay-Z shit. Yeah.
If you work with somebody that exclusive, that's like me. That's like if Lou ended up doing some crazy shit. And then he go on trial and they be like, hey, Nick, what you think? And I don't say nothing, bro. I don't say nothing. They be like, damn, you did the show with him for about this many years. I was on this. And I'm saying nothing. Like, I don't even know that nigga. Something's up. Something's up, bro. I ain't saying this to say anything about Jay-Z. I'm just saying it's crazy how he's worked exclusively with that nigga on 3 projects. And he like, oh, I ain't know none of that.
Yeah, he might not have, though. You know. You really don't know what people do behind, and he might have known, to be honest, but we don't know.
Don't even do this. Don't even do this, bro.
I would know if you
Kelly
pissing on
the one person you can't even make a we don't know.
So everybody
really
knew kid.
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly,
stop
bro.
you right now.
I would know if one of my homies is pissing on little girls, bro. That's not a secret you could just hide.
The only argument I'm making is they may not have been homies. You can work with someone on that level and not know nothing about what they got going on other than when they with you.
That's bullshit to me, bro. Because you going on tour and shit with the nigga too. It ain't like y'all just in the studio.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So you know.
But that's not home life. That's not like your day to day.
Right,
because you can be like, bro,
you had him coming to the hotel, bro.
Nah. So you know he was like, why are there crayons and coloring books all over this hotel room?
But I don't think that. I genuinely don't think that. I don't think that Jay-Z hung out with R. Kelly or Kanye. I don't think that was the case either.
No.
Like me and Nick hang out. Like Nick you could say that about me. Like Nick could be like,
bro, he hung out with Kanye. He hung out with Kanye heavy.
Nah, he didn't. If you watch that Kanye documentary, you saw that he was always an outsider, bro. Like he was never necessarily invited inside. The only reason why they even fuck with him was because he had dope beats. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't fuck with him like that early, especially early on.
Jodeci in the world of R&B, Jodeci is a group. Hell, they brothers, but they're rarely in the studio at the same time. They when they on the road, once you get off that, same thing with New Edition. When they get off the stage, they split.
It's like having
same thing with
coworkers.
Outkast.
Like you have people that you cool with at work. Yeah, you like people you cool with at work, but you wouldn't dare hang out with them outside of
right.
work.
Nah, ain't nothing outside of here. And you can hear rumors of it, but then in that industry, and I'm sure he may have even heard rumors, but at the same he heard rumors and stuff, but that ain't got nothing to do with him. Let's get to this money. And then when he did step off, what did he step off for?
I can't remember, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna.
He said Jay-Z tried to kill him.
Jay-Z what?
He said Jay-Z tried to kill him. He said it was a person in the audience with a gun, and he couldn't perform.
All right, let's hop into the show.
Hey, bro, Lou's investigative reporter skills.
That's what he
said. Garbage.
Y'all don't remember that story? R. Kelly tried to say that it was a nigga in the crowd with a gun that was trying to shoot him, and that's why the tour ended.
Bro, I'm not believing accused. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm not believing an accused child molester's story. Period. Somebody else gonna have to vouch for this. Once you got that label on you, bro, I ain't believing shit you say. Like, it wasn't me, bro.
That don't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm telling you why they stopped working together. He said that Jay-Z was trying to kill him, and it was a nigga in the crowd.
He probably found out he was pissing. It was probably when he found out he pissing on little girls. He like say, bro,
hey, you know what I'm saying?
I think we good, y'all. I think we good.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
I digress.
This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we got Spike Lou. We got Shelton J, FIFO 24/7, and Nikki. Well, I was gonna say the old name, but I'm gonna just say Nick. I almost got it.
Appreciate
it.
I missed the old name, man. I missed the old name.
Nah, bro, we don't need to associate black men with liquor all the time, bro. That's the one thing I hate when niggas get big. They always what they do, Lou? They get a shoe deal and a liquor.
I wasn't even thinking about it as
sponsorship.
I was thinking about what the Knicks was gonna say at the end of this series. That's what I thought it meant. But
say that's funny.
We have a lot to talk about, man. As you guys can see, we are here to discuss the conference finals. They start tonight. OKC Timberwolves are playing. We have the Pacers and the Knicks. We'll be playing later, not tonight, but later on this week. So everything is set. We are 1 series, 4 wins for somebody away from the NBA Finals. And we're here to talk about it and look ahead and also look back. And after we do all of that, we will talk about, of course, the contract that Brock Purdy got to start closing out the show. But before we get things off, kick things off, we have a audible version of FIFO's Best of the Week.
Damn, it was just a close up. Like, what the fuck? What's going on now? Is this the new setup?
This all you got?
That's hilarious, bro.
Damn. Jaylen, what's going on, man?
It threw you off, people.
Yeah, no, like this is man.
Fuck with you. That's what's going on, nigga.
Damn. Well, I was. My topic was the New York Knicks. They are the best that I've seen this past week.
Don't do this. Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't you know what? I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah. Flip flopping ass nigga, bro.
What do you flip-flopping? That's why we made segments for us to acknowledge the things that we saw that was good. Nah, fuck that. Fuck y'all. Because y'all niggas sound like the whole college football chat. Niggas want to hate on me because I won. That's all good.
Oh, this nigga bringing animosity from the chat in here. I ain't even the
They got me heated, bro. They had me heated today.
This nigga bringing the champ.
Hey, Lou, there was about 400 messages in that chat today, bro. People was cussing everybody.
100%. Because when I win the national championship, it's gimmick, is this, is that. But it's all good though. You in that same boat, Nick. Fuck you.
What you have to
New
say
York
about
Knicks
the
was the
Knicks?
best shit that I saw all week.
Oh my God, that's funny, man.
Oh, FIFO, you are hilarious, bro. I fuck with you, FIFO, bro.
Now I'm trying to give you your flowers, bro.
The Oklahoma City Thunder. Wait, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on, y'all got me thrown off. All right, let's talk about the teams that are about to paint. The Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Boston Celtics are all taking an early vacation to Cancun. But before they go abroad, what single move does each of these teams need to make to be better next season? And do you guys think the Celtics need to trade Jaylen Brown?
Ooh.
Shelton, what you got, bro?
Are we starting with Boston? Or just
you can answer that question first, and then you can go to some of the other teams. We can do it that way.
I don't think they need to trade Jaylen Brown. I think that, we saw what Boston looks like when they are at full strength. We saw what they look like. And they were champions. So this team, they know they can win with the same team. And I know you're going to lose a couple of players here and there, but you want to keep, if I was them, it's a couple of them that's going to be gone. But if I was them, I would definitely keep
Drew, Al Horford. That's more than a couple. That's part of the championship core.
I would try to keep Porzingis if why you can't?
You can't. Because Jaylen Brown has like almost a $300 million contract, and so does Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Like they're both combined. Both of those guys are going to make over $100 million combined next season. You can't keep the rest of them from a tax perspective.
You can keep one of them. I thought they can keep one.
It all depends on how much the owner wants to pay in those tax, in the
luxury tax,
in those aprons, because now it's like dollar for dollar. It's a crazy tax rule. I don't see. Look, here's the thing. I don't know how deep his pockets are. I don't know how much he wants to, but at least two of them is going to be gone. Minimum.
Yeah.
Probably all three of them.
I would figure at least two as well. But if I was him, I would still try to keep my main two intact. You saw you could win with these guys. You can add pieces around and build around them again. You know what Jaylen Brown is. Jaylen Brown is what when Tatum can't get going, Jaylen Brown is there to pick up the slack. They switch, Batman and Robin switches between the two. Now, they just got to work together. That's just the way I look at this team. I feel like they still can win with the core that they have. If they can keep the main two pieces together and a couple of those reserve guys step up, you should be fine in Boston. I wouldn't start all over.
Does that mean you have Brown being your number one going into next season? Because Tatum's not going to play.
Yeah, without Tatum, Brown would have to be your number one. I think he can fill in.
You trust that?
I would trust him enough to not trade and get rid of everybody.
To what? Like go 500 or like be a 6 seed?
They'll make the playoffs. They won't go 500. They'll be better than that. They were 9-3 or 9-4 when Tatum was out last year.
But that's when they had White and Porzingis and everybody else. If they have to get rid of them and Brown is their number one, they would like the 5th or 6th seed in the East?
Well, Probably. It depends on what they replace him with. And that's just the thing. We don't know what's coming in. If Brown performs like he can perform, then they should be okay. I mean, the East it's not like the East is strong.
So a couple things, right? Let's just say two people go, right? Let's just say it's Porzingis and Drew Holiday, because Al Horford is the older. Typically, when you're older, you're cheaper, right? So let's say they keep Al Horford.
Right.
Derek White is going to get the Jason Tatum minutes, but guess what happens? Because we already said Jason Tatum's going to miss pretty much the whole season.
Yes, he will miss the whole season.
So that means that it's going to be time when Jason Tatum's come back to re-up Derek White, and they're not going to have money for Derek White. So Derek White's going to be gone. Like the team that Tatum is going to come back to is going to be completely different than the team that we just saw. So I don't disagree with you at their full strength. Yes, they're a championship contender, but they're not going to be that once Jason Tatum gets back. So my thing is, I think you have to explore an option of trading Jaylen Brown right? And getting as much as you can in return, including draft picks. Me and my brother was talking about this, potentially go get a top flight point guard. Somebody like a John Morant, somebody like a Trae Young, somebody that now you can pair with Jason Tatum and have a different version of what the Boston Celtics are going to look like and get back a haul for Jaylen Brown. Another team that could trade for Jaylen Brown is Houston. Another team, potentially OKC. Like just anybody that has good players that can play right now and has some draft picks for the future, because it's not like that championship window of them potentially becoming a dynasty ended with that injury.
Yeah, that's over.
It's over. It's over. They're different now. It's a different organization. It's a different team.
Yeah, FIFO is right. What you have to do now, if you're the Boston Celtics, is see what's the most that I can get back for Jaylen Brown. And I need players that can play now. I ain't necessarily got to make the playoffs, but I do need players that can surround Jason Tatum and be the best like around him when he gets back. So I got to eat the next year. Like the next year, like I can't expect to be the Boston Celtics to go to the championship, but I do need to get enough of a haul for Jaylen Brown as to when Jason Tatum gets back, he got talent around him. We got draft picks, and we can continue to move forward if they want to continue this championship window open. If they try to keep Jaylen Brown and just wait on Tatum to get back, it's over for them. Like the window's closed. Because we don't even know, again, this is one of the most devastating injuries that you could have as a basketball player. We don't even know what Tatum gonna look like when he get back. God forbid he not be good. Like he probably won't be as good as he was. I do think that he got a nice enough skill set where he will still be like above average to good, maybe even great, but he ain't gonna be the Jason Tatum that we remembered, right? That hit 40 in Madison Square Garden before he got hurt. He's not gonna be that. So you got to account for that as well.
That's a heavy stand on, because I mean,
how? Tell me, there are no players that have came back from that injury that have been the same player.
I was about to say KD, Paul George. Like,
well, Paul George didn't have a
but I'm just saying he fucked up his leg. He ripped everything but that motherfucker. If not that motherfucker,
but like you said, he didn't have that same injury. And
either way, I'm saying like you could have.
I feel like KD is an anomaly.
Well, but here's the thing that they have in common. They both got old man game. It's not, their game isn't predicated solely on athletic ability. Athletic ability was the cherry on top, right? So even if they are diminished from the athletic standpoint, even if Jason Tatum can't turn the corner like he once did, he got a jump shot, he got handle, and he has size. You know what I'm saying? So smaller wings are still going to be an issue to guard him, and he can still take most big men off the dribble. It's not going to be as explosive as it once was, but he got game. He got old man game. So he just got to work more on his skill set and mentality, and he'll be fine. I think he can still score 40 and 30 and still be the Jason Tatum. We're just not going to see him as explosive as he once was.
But y'all forgetting that Jaylen Brown was the MVP of the finals last year. Jaylen Brown got enough game to carry that team. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to carry him to the – I'm not saying he's going to carry them to a championship, but he's going to carry them to be a perennial playoff team. They still should be there.
That ain't going to do shit for you.
But wouldn't you? But in business, isn't it the smart decision to sell high? Like Jaylen Brown's stock isn't going to be higher than it is right now.
It might diminish.
Exactly. Right. So that's why. And I'm not saying you 100% trade Jaylen Brown. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you have to explore that option and see what it is that you can get in return. Now, if you don't like what you can get in return, you stand pat, because Shelton, to your point, he was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And was he the Finals MVP
both.
as well?
He was both.
He was Finals MVP. You know what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with you, Shelton, but at the same time, you got to look to see what's out there for him.
Well, I'd be interested to see how well he performed. Go ahead, Shelton. Without Tatum there.
Yeah, go ahead. I am too, and I'm with you on that. I don't mind them exploring options. I'm just saying I'm not so quick to say I'm going to get rid of him
100
based off what I've seen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 100.
What about some of these other teams that's up out of there?
I put it in the chat in terms of Denver. When I watch Denver, is much look, and I'll eat my words from about 3 or 4 years ago when they first traded for Aaron Gordon. and I said Aaron Gordon was the worst pickup that they could have picked up. But that's only because he didn't refine his game to be around a superstar. When he was drafted by Orlando, they drafted him to be the guy, and then obviously he wasn't the guy, so they traded him to a place that had a guy, and he had to mold his game around that. He's done that now, but early on he wasn't that. I think he's a very important piece to their championship core, but they need a bucket getter. And MPJ, as much as I like him, he's too up and down. Like, he's not consistent enough. Right. And to me, if I'm KD should only be looking at championship contenders, older teams that are championship contenders. The only young true team that's a championship contender like that is OKC, maybe Minnesota, but Denver is somebody that, if I'm KD, I have to look at seriously as a suitor, because what he'll do is, Jamal Murray ain't got it, Joker struggling, they double triple teaming him, like how you gonna guard all of us? And KD's still gonna be able to get buckets. Like, KD's gonna get buckets to the day he's required. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, because he. Let's be honest, bro. He's in a twilight of his career. You know, it's championships or bust for him. Like, it's like just making the playoffs and shit, not making the playoffs is worse for your legacy at this point. Nobody's gonna jump down KD's neck about, oh, well, you joined the champion. Nigga, you old now. Like, can you just be the difference maker? You don't have to be the cake. Can you just be the frosting? You know what I'm saying? That's what KD need to look at.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Trying to stop Joker and KD would be
that's
some
tough.
trouble. That's and then Jamal Murray, if he get cooking every now and again like he does, that'd be hard.
And then you reunite with Russ. Like that's
Russ gonna be gone.
How many teams how many teams we gonna put KD on?
Every one of them.
We're not doing this. We're not doing the disrespect. KD going to Houston. It's already said and done.
That's no. He'll better fit in Denver than he is Houston.
Yeah, never have to give up too much. And they ain't got enough anyway.
No, Houston, he's too old. He too old to play in Houston, bro. Like, they don't need that type of like personality. They don't need that type of game. Like, they don't need that on their team. Like they're in a perfectly fine position.
What personality does he have?
He was stuck there.
He's a loser. That's his personality, nigga. He's a loser.
He is not a loser. Stop saying that, bro.
He'll fit right in, Lou. He'll fit right in there.
But they trying to avoid that, Ken. They trying to avoid that. This ain't first time like losing. I think they can. Like, they still got young enough talent. He is a loser. They still have young enough talent.
He's the best player on that team, and that's an issue.
See,
he goes to Denver. He's not the
and
best.
That's why he shouldn't be in Houston. That's why he shouldn't be in Houston. If Houston gonna look at him like the best player on the team, he's
the best player. He's been the best player on his team everywhere he's been all his career, though.
But he's too old for that shit.
He won't be
stunt their growth. He would stunt their growth.
Yes, 100%.
And you don't want 100%. That.
Well, anyway, 100%. But outside of KD on this team, we gonna put KD on Miami and Cleveland and everybody else?
No. We get there.
What else?
KD's coming to the Knicks, if anything, but that's another conversation. But
Knicks could be, like if he wants to go again front running, you know what I'm saying? That could be an option.
But they're still playing right now.
But I think that Denver is a better fit, and that's not one of the 4 teams that's down here next. But we're not talking about
the Denver.
That's what I was saying. I'm trying to get to Denver. I'm trying to get to the Boston part. I do think that I do believe that Tatum and Brown can work again, and they can still rebuild around them. But I don't think that this franchise. I feel like they're not patient for that, so they would rather just blow it up. And, if they shitty this year, if they trade Brown, they'll be shitty this year because Tatum's not playing either. And they'll lose KP and others. So they can probably get a high draft pick. I don't even know if they own their own draft pick, but they could probably get a high draft pick in next year's draft. And then when Tatum gets back healthy, use that pick with Tatum and rebuild, retool. I think that's where they're probably going to go to avoid the scrutiny of being losers. Because if they just – lose those guys and just have Brown, they ain't gonna do shit. They're gonna be like a 7th, 8th, basically a 6 through 8 seed, get knocked out the first round, and then you get a low draft pick. Like, it's like, what does that do for the team? You wait for Tatum to come back after that. We don't know what he was gonna look like. By then, the Knicks have won 3 titles. It's like, what are we doing? The other teams, I would say, the Golden State Warriors. If I'm Golden State, bro, I'm firing.
That's easy.
I'm firing Steve Kerr. That's me. I think if you fire Steve Kerr, get somebody else in there, because you already know. Because Because my thing is this:
as long as Steph is there, Kerr gonna be there.
And Steph ain't gonna be there for much longer. He wants
Steph to be gone.
Steph ain't gonna be there much longer. I don't think Steph is gonna be like LeBron and play until he's 45. I think Steph is like, I probably want to. I'm gonna hang
his
up.
His game is more acclimated to play.
I know. I'm talking about Steph as the person. I don't think Steph is going to play for until his late 40s, like as long as LeBron would be.
What gives you that idea?
Like, he just don't see.
Why wouldn't he do that?
I'm not saying that he doesn't care about basketball. I just don't think he plans to keep his career going that long. Like
I think Steph looks at it because he understands that he's one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? He's changed the game. He has tremendous impact. All of those accolades, right? Like he has a gold medal. He has multiple championships. He has all of that. As long as they're competing or in the hunt and they're viable, he's gonna want to play. You know what I'm saying? I think they're a player away. We'll see what they get back in the Jonathan Kuminga trade because that's inevitable. Again, I told you the reason why he wasn't playing was deeper than rap. It was 100% about not paying or not having to match top dollar when he becomes a restricted free agent. But they're going to sign and trade him, so we'll see what they'll be able to get back. But they are legit. Look, we saw 100% with Jimmy Butler that with Steph on the court with Jimmy. They were good. Steph off the court and Jimmy looked like, and he was hurt. You know what I'm saying?
He was hurt.
He was out there, but he was hurt. He didn't look the same. They need to get another guy that fits that system. We've seen a lot of guys come and go, but not everybody fits that system. I can't remember the big man, but he was on a podcast like a year or so ago, and when Steph was injured, he was starting with Draymond and he was putting up almost like 20 points a game. He was putting like 18 points a game. But when Steph came back, he talked about how it's so Steph-centric that even if you're balling, that it don't matter. The ball got to go to Steph. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find somebody that fits that third wheel of a scorer that fits with Steph.
But my thing is that it's not my thing for firing Kerr is more so for what you was pointing out, like he can't get buy-in from young talent, and he doesn't know how to develop young talent. We saw that with the second overall. No, but it's the facts. It's not even a narrative. He couldn't get Jonathan Kuminga to buy in to be a team player as a head coach. Who the hell is Jonathan Kuminga to come into the
Steve Kerr?
That is on Steve Kerr because they drafted him. So we picked the groceries. You supposed to make the meal. He can't win one game without Steph. And Steph ain't getting no younger or no quicker. He gonna get older and slower. You know what I'm saying? He already getting out muscle. The Wolves was gonna bust. They was gonna beat them in 6 if it wasn't 5. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
My thing is Kerr. I think Kerr's run his course. Y'all can keep him in there longer because all the history and all that shit. Because y'all niggas want to pay niggas for what they did yesterday. Not what they about to do tomorrow. I didn't say he's shitty. I'm just saying fire Steve Kerr now and start this rebuild process soon. Because it's about to come up.
Because Nick, at the end of the day, Steve Kerr and Steph Curry are married to the game, bro. And whenever Steph's time to go, that's when Steve Kerr is gonna go. Right, you can't fire Steve Kerr right now and bring in a whole new system. Like it's not gonna work.
Ain't nobody saying gotta be a new system.
But if you get a new coach, it's gonna be a new system.
It's a coach that can develop talent, young talent. You can keep the same system.
They're not at that point yet. If Steph Curry's on,
they ain't about to win. I'm gonna tell you this right now, Figo. They ain't winning unless they trade
in the championship.
Unless they get Giannis, they're not winning shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
So that's what I'm saying. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
That's what I was gonna say. Reports are that they're gonna put together a package to try to go after Giannis. That'll include
as they should.
Kuminga,
everybody, but Draymond. And Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler.
Draymond can get his ass up. Draymond. And I fuck with Draymond, but Draymond ain't doing shit for this team.
He's not it.
Kuminga. I think
let's shout him.
Him and Giannis. My bad.
I was just gonna say it's Kuminga and a couple draft picks, and it was somebody else, and I think it was Moody or somebody like that. But they were talking about going after Giannis and adding Giannis with Jimmy and Steph. I think that's
a difference maker.
I mean, adding Giannis to any team is going to make you a championship contender.
But if you got a shooter like Steph with a player like Giannis, and Jimmy at full strength, which I don't know. I don't know if Jimmy was hurt or not. I don't know why Jimmy looked so bad.
What you mean? You know why Jimmy
he
fell on his ass?
Yeah, what is it? Not.
I was the one that was saying it, but at the same time, I've seen him take a lot of criticism for the way he played down the stretch. So I'm like, I wonder, because I saw Dwayne Wade talking about it. I was like, I wonder if he was hurt like that. Because they're talking like
there's two things can be true.
No. I agree. I was the one that was saying it, but once again, some of the stars like in the league were like, he didn't play well. So I'm thinking, well, was he hurt? Really?
Shelton, two things can be true. Mm-hmm. We understand that he was hurt. We just don't give a damn. You playing on the court, nigga. You on the court. If you too hurt to play, then sit your ass on the pine.
Yeah. What about who's the other team that just got put out? Was it Cavs?
Cavs.
Cleveland Cavs.
They didn't do better by Donnie. They ain't supporting Donnie enough.
They got hurt. They said Donnie is the problem.
Listen,
they could have won that series if they weren't injured.
They say Donnie is the problem.
I think no, he's not. The
wait. Well, hold on. What are they? You saying
they could have won that series? Yeah, they would have won that series had he not got had they not had injuries. They probably would have beat the Pacers.
Wait. What, Shelton? What were you saying?
They were saying that Donnie is the problem. They was like, Donnie ain't winning these games.
Who said his name?
It was online. They were saying that
whoever gave him at Maryland jersey.
Whoever gave him at Maryland. That was the streets.
It's that Gerber baby. He stole that Gerber.
KP was the main one saying it. Yeah, KP was the main one saying it. Was somebody else said it too, and I'm sorry I can't quote. So, somebody else
Perkins had receipts.
Do you believe that? Sean?
Yes.
What did Kendrick Perkins say?
Wait, you believe it too?
I put it in the chat.
I haven't heard it yet.
See, y'all don't be looking at the shit I be putting in there. I put it in there. Kendrick Perkins was talking about.
So rarely.
I know, which is why you should look, because I don't post.
Which is why we ignore it.
It's important. It don't work. Whatever. But be agreed. Be agreed. Be looked at it and be agreed. And KP had receipts. What's his name? Donovan Mitchell got JB Bickerstaff fired. JB Bickerstaff.
That's what he said.
Wait, hold on, Nick. Shut your.
Bro, you could go. I didn't say nothing, bro.
He got JB Bickerstaff fired. JB Bickerstaff was holding them boys' feet to the fire. We saw the job that he did in Detroit. We know the type of coach that he is. He's an old school type of coach. Who's the guy that they?
He said he never spoke. He said he stopped speaking to JB. Saw how that turned out.
Yep. What round JB get past Shelton?
but he turned around the Detroit Pistons. They've been a laughing stock. Okay, they've been a laughing stock.
So much so that you picked them to beat the Knicks. And what happened? Nigga?
All right, and you get your bottle. And you.
I'm just saying, you questioning, you going with JB like he's some all-time great coach.
Wait, I want to hear Nick. What he's saying about.
My bad. Go ahead for you.
What you saying about Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell is a coach killer. Number one, got JB Bickerstaff fired. Number two, the culture around the Cleveland Cavs is that it's all happy-go-lucky. I can't remember the damn name of the white man coach that they just got right now.
Kenny Atkinson.
Kenny Atkinson is happy-go-lucky. He don't push his guys. If you look at the injuries, not to the point guard,
Darius Garland.
Not to Darius Garland, but if you look at the DeAndre Hunter and you look at Evan Mobley, those type of injuries you play through in the playoffs. You go get a shot, you come in 2-3 hours extra for treatment, and you push through that injury. We're talking about an ankle sprain in Evan Mobley's case. You play through that. These are the playoffs.
Is that the coach fault or the player fault?
It's the culture fault. But because of the coach that they put into place, because Donovan Mitchell didn't like the coach that was holding people's feet to the fire. So now everything's happy-go-lucky. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sit out this playoff game. No, you're not. We're playing for legacy now, and that's what these others don't understand, and they don't have the culture. Because first and foremost, we know that the owner is trash. We saw what he said about Braun years ago. Oh, you're not going to win nothing. We're going to win something. And there go Brown going 9 straight finals and came back and got you one. They don't know how to run the organization. They are better. They've been better at procuring talent, but you gotta have a championship level coach. And as much as I do like Kenny Atkinson, you could tell that the culture isn't there.
Here's what I'll say to all of that. And
none of that had to do with Donovan.
I won't dispute
Donovan
any of it.
Was the catalyst.
But I think it's hard to make an assessment for the Cavs when they had so many players hurt. It's just really hard to evaluate.
Soft injuries, Ken.
I understand, but they were like 3 to 4 guys, bro. They were playing reserve guys out there. It's just you just can't make that assessment unless you see them on the court.
I agree with that too, Ken. I agree. A lot. It's been the downfall of these whole playoffs. You had every one of the teams that we have listed here were dealing with some type of injury from a start. All the 4 teams we're talking about had some serious injury. Now Boston was later on, of course, but still, they were dealing with stuff. And you really can't assess it, but you can look and say, like, this show is notorious for saying, we're going to hold your feet to the fire if you're the leader. And Donovan Mitchell was the leader of that team. And I think that if they showed a better showing, then I would feel a lot better about his situation. But they didn't. I'm not saying they should have won. I'm just saying they should. They should have competed.
But they shouldn't have blown 2 multiple digit 20-point leads. I agree with you there, Shelton.
Mm-hmm. But he did show up as the leader to that team. He scored 50 points and they lost. Like, there's not a lot more that he can do as the leader of that team, right? Like, I can't.
And what game is that? What game is that, Spike?
5. What game was that when he scored 50?
Like 3. It was
4. What lead did they have in that game? Were they up in that game?
I don't know.
Yeah, they were up.
They were up, yes. And he scored 50 points. So I'm saying
he blew another.
If I'm Donovan Mitchell, if I'm Donovan Mitchell, there's not much more that you can ask for from me. I got people on the bench hurt. Y'all, FIFO saying what he said about his coach. Like, it still don't fall on Donovan Mitchell, though. So if I'm going into the offseason, which is a conversation that we're having, Donovan Mitchell, not the person that I'm looking at. I may be looking at the coach. I may be looking at that dude with the afro who looked like somebody off NBA Jam. Like, I may be looking at him.
But Spike, let me ask you something.
They had a 10-point lead in those games. They blew 2 of them.
Spike, let me ask you something.
That's not Donovan Mitchell's fault, though.
Yes, it is.
Let me ask you something, Spike.
Yeah.
When before AD played with LeBron, what was the narrative about AD? And it still is to a degree. He's soft. He don't play through minor injuries. All of that.
Donovan Mitchell not soft.
Wait, hold on, my guy. Let me finish.
It took too long to get there.
AD had this rap sheet of being soft and not playing through soft injuries. Okay. LeBron, through the media, said, hey, we need him to be on the court, and you got to play through the ankle sprain. You got to play through the knee sprain. You got to play through that. You're not going to be at 100% the whole year. And what did AD do? AD sucked it up, pause, and he played through those type of injuries. You know what I'm saying? He did. So all I'm saying is, as the leader of a team, you have to demand that from the others. And he hasn't.
So my thing is when, and I want to talk about the Nuggets too, because we didn't get a chance to really talk about the Nuggets. If we're talking about failures as the leaders, when we brought up the fact that LeBron need to hold Luka's weight into account and he may get blamed for that, niggas was saying like, why is that LeBron's fault? My thing is, like Lou said, I'm not trying to gloss over Donovan Mitchell's mistakes and fumbles that did cost him a game, probably 2 games. But I can't argue against the nigga who averaged 34, 5, and 6 or something like that in a series, and everybody know he the number 1 option. Like even a little kid in Indiana will say, yeah, he's the best player. They probably gonna run the offense through him, and he still scores what he scores. You got to ask for other. They got a white boy named Jerome that was starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, what we gonna really like? That's what I'm saying. Is like they need to go out and get a legit number 2. Somebody, because Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, they ain't it for me. That's all I always tell y'all. Regular season don't mean shit to me, because we see all these up and down these playoffs. And we're gonna get to a few other topics where they look one way in the regular season, they ain't look like shit in the postseason. Now with Denver,
hey, let me cue it up, Nick. This is from Rob Costa. Top of the evening, everyone. Last year he blew a 20-point lead at home in a game 7. This year he gets blown out by 30 points in another game 7. Can we finally hold Nikola Jokic?
Look how much pride Ken read that with. Look how happy Ken was to read that with. I don't think I ever heard Ken that happy and read no super chats.
Hey, before we answer that, this nigga Edward,
he
on a different type of time.
He is up. I can't wait till we get to our picks because
we probably need to go ahead and get through this.
But go now. I gave you time, Ken. I want you to go address your man's.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, real quick. the Cavs they got hurt. It's hard to say. Boston Celtics, they were losing with both of them, so it's over for them. The only thing I would say with the Celtics is instead of trading Jaylen Brown, can we trade Mazzulla, because he is absolute garbage. The Warriors, Steph got hurt. Hard to really judge that team performance. But the Nuggets, outside of Game 7 where Aaron Gordon got hurt, and he played a hell of a game hurt. MPJ had a little bit of a shoulder injury, but maybe that impacted how he was shooting because he was awful. They were relatively healthy. The issue with the Nuggets is they need a bench. Their bench is completely awful. Yeah. And this is why Mike Malone got fired. And this is why the GM got fired as well. Strouder came in and saved them in Game 6 when he outscored the OKC by himself. I think he had like 16 or whatever. I can't remember the score in that third or fourth quarter run they went on. But Jokic, man, that's twice he done made it, and he hasn't gotten it done. Now this time he was on the road. It was a close game. It was like 80 all, and then shit just went crazy for them. And no, I think I'm getting the games mixed up. Either way, it was
because Denver was up early, and then
they were up 26.
OKC went on a run, and then it was a wrap.
Yeah, Jalen Williams went on that crazy run to end the second quarter, and then it was a wrap from there. Jokic, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He just fucking disappeared for the rest of the game.
My thing was, like I said last week, I was like, bro, they had to win Game 5 and end it on their home court in Game 6. Otherwise, if we went 7, it was a wrap. And at first, it looked like it was going to be competitive, and then the OKC, they be letting these niggas just get away with being some young hackers. Because I swear, even what just happened in this game today, I'm like, they look like they hacking, but they letting them play, so fuck it. However you get it. But I just think Denver was just old. They just got old quick. You know what I'm saying? And like obviously everybody's gonna look like that against OKC. But it was literally like night and day with some shit. Like there's some nights where it looked like, okay, they just can't stop Joker, and they, for the most part, they couldn't. But other times it was like what Ken said, they just got overwhelmed with youth. Like it was like off the bench. It was Alex Caruso. It was just like everybody. And Shea was doing this thing. It was just like
Joker had like one signature game to me. He had
he had 2, but they lost that game that he scored 40, damn near 50 points. Yeah, and that was the game they should have won.
The hamstring injury to Aaron Gordon hurt them really bad because he's the Chet matchup. He's the Hartenstein matchup. He's the guy that can switch from a big onto a guy on the perimeter. And then he was hitting big shots, like not just like dunks, like a tip-in dunk. We're talking like big threes. And that injury, you could tell he wasn't the same. I want to say it was early in the game. He went to go for like a layup, and he was like looking for the contact versus exploding and dunking on somebody. And that hurt them because they really relied on him. Aaron Gordon played like their second best player throughout that entire series.
And that's true. That's true, FIFO. And if I were doing the on watch session, Jamal Murray would be the nigga that we would be talking about. He's the one that's the reason they losing these series. Like you're right. You have been saying that Jamal Murray has not, like, we saw it in one playoff run as far as when they went to their championship. Oh, this is the cap of what Jamal Murray can be, and it's great, and he can be the second best player on a championship team. We ain't seen that shit since. We don't know where this dude disappeared to. Like he ain't been nowhere around for any of these playoff games.
Hey, you're right, because I said he was the reason why they won that championship. Because he was in that fourth quarter.
He was balling.
He was killing people in the fourth quarter.
You would have thought that he was like a legitimate number 2, if not 1A.
He had one good quarter in this series.
Yeah, he had one good game, and that was Game 6. He played well. But
I mean, he played well, but it wasn't a 1A or a 2 on a championship team. That's what the Denver Nuggets are missing. Yeah, Michael Porter did. He's a disabled person. Yeah, Michael Porter's a disabled person. Like we ain't even gonna expect much from him. And then, like we said, Aaron Gordon was hurt. He was on one leg. Like
in Game 7,
there's no excuse. Like they trying to come out and tell us, "Oh, Jamal Murray might have had a flu. He's sick. We had to shoot him with flu." Man, bro, stop
he scored 25. He scored 25 with the flu. So
Jordan scored 37 with the flu. Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah,
hey,
Jordan,
Jamal Murray let the hood down, like with all his performances throughout the playoffs.
But he's from Canada, so I don't.
Yeah,
well,
so not really hood.
The sticks
but
down.
You're right, man. One of y'all said, I think Ken, you said it earlier. They have no bench. Like bringing Russ in, it just wasn't enough. But when you don't get enough from your starters, and we, like I said, we know Aaron Gordon was down when it mattered the most. He was hurt, and you needed him to step up. What you get from MPJ is like extra. That's extra. So I don't even consider that. But you're right, Lou. You needed Jamal Murray to have a Jamal Murray signature game in that game 7. I think Joker sat down for like 5 minutes, and they were negative 14 in the time he was off the court. It was something ridiculous. And that whole series, every time he went out of the game, it was a
and
wrap.
That's why I said they looked old compared to them. They just looked old, like old and tired, and like they can keep up with a little bit, but then they wore down. And it's fucked up that Jordan moving forward can't nobody ever be sick at their job. They can't come out sick. The nigga feels like nah, nigga. He dropped a double nickel one time when he had the flu. Fuck what you talking about. But now I want to move on because we got some other shit.
Yeah. We need to move on. So we'll be right back after this quick break. Which one do I want to hear? Dead in Hip Hop for the last 14 years have covered the culture with authenticity. Some of you may remember the golden era of hip hop or the blog era to present day when you had the great Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef. Dead in Hip Hop has been there for it all. But Dead in Hip Hop is not just stuck in the past. They're also finding tomorrow's legends today, putting you onto artists the mainstream hasn't discovered yet. Experience hip hop through the eyes of those who have lived every era. Join our community on YouTube, Patreon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Dead in Hip Hop. No politics, no BS.
That's a good new read right there.
He laid it out, boy. Shit. If you don't know what Dead in Hip Hop is after that shit, nigga, you ain't listening.
Who up for this? Did you ever get anybody? Because I had We Need to Talk.
No, I ain't get nobody.
Oh man, okay.
I can do it on watch real quick.
All right, go ahead, Showdown.
We can do it on watch. I got you. My on watch today is RG3. RG3 made some comments about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing, which to me, it's been a well overblown situation. It was just a hard foul and a comeback like most players do in basketball. But for some reason, with WNBA games, it's blown out of proportion and it turns into a black-white issue. RG3, man, you should have just stayed out of this one. He called it hatred. He was talking, kind of reckless about Angel Reese. And to me, he was just wrong. I mean, he was just wrong because he tried to walk it back after he was called out by Ryan Clark. But for me, it was too late. So my guy, RG3, stay in your lane, man.
Yeah.
He tried to walk it back and say he was talking about basketball. Yeah, but he wasn't talking about basketball.
Talking about basketball.
Yeah, hold on commentary. Hold on commentary for that. We do got a super chat about that, so we can get into that. Then we need to.
I was going to get into it.
Kind of catch up to the show. So let's jump to the game that's on now, and the series that's on now. So we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They defeated the Denver Nuggets at home in OKC on Sunday afternoon, 125-93 to advance to the Western Conference Finals, where they will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who is the best player in the series, and who do you have winning, and in how many games?
I'll go first. I have Ant Edwards as the best player in this series. I do think it will go 7. I think they will go down to the wire. And I just think that Ant Edwards, this is the year that he's going to make his run for championship. My ideal matchup is him versus the Knicks in the finals, him going to Madison Square Garden, getting his first ring. But SGA is great. Yeah, getting his first ring. SGA is great. I just don't think that he has the same will that Anthony Edwards has. And if y'all are looking at it in the background like I am, it's being put to the course, like as far as how much that he wants it versus the cool laid back style that SGA has. That's cool for the regular season. That's fine. Like you can do all the smooth shit, you can wear all the little clothes that you wear, but Anthony Edwards is different, and I think he's going to show it in these next 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Never overreact to game ones, Lou.
Never.
I'm reacting off like the Kingslayer though. I'm reacting off him beating Durant.
I'm just saying,
and LeBron and Steph and Jokic. That's what I'm reacting to. I think that he has that in him. I'll go to what Nick says. The Thunder are still young. And I think that SGA is a hell of a skilled basketball player, but that thing that Anthony Edwards has, that's where, no, I want to kill you. I want to let you know that I'm better than you. When he was talking shit, and we see that image of him talking to Durant, shaking his head like, yeah. And SGA don't have that yet. And I think that this is what's going to carry.
That's crazy. SGA
cultural thing.
SGA is the MVP of the league, Luke.
Thank you, FIFO. No, thank you, FIFO.
It's a cultural thing.
I was gonna say this is
from Atlanta. From Atlanta. You got to develop it a lot earlier than you do in Canada.
Well, I was gonna say this is the ultimate
in Canada.
This is the ultimate American black man versus Canadian black man. You know what I'm saying? Or American black man versus international black man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the ultimate series for that. I got Wolves in 6, and that's only off the strength that I respect an MVP in this series. But I really want to say my heart says Wolves in 5. But I'm gonna say Wolves in 6 just because I agree with Ant is the best player in the series. Ant might be the best player in the league, might be, depending on how this shit go. But this is him making his claim as the face of the league. I think I'm not going to judge SGA as far as like say that he doesn't have a dog in him like Ant. It just may look different. But my thing is Ant already went through this once. He's not going through this twice in my mind. That's what he has in his mind. I lost. I should have went to the finals last year. We probably could have beat Boston, and I probably would have said if the Wolves made it instead of Dallas, that would have been. That's a different series to me. We may be looking at Tatum and all them differently after that, but I think that I think Minnesota can actually go to the finals this year, and I think that it will surprise them, or at least surprise America, how good Minnesota really is. And I know Lou was talking about this first half and how they look right now, but I think they can keep this up. Now, again, I'm giving 2 games to SGA because he's the MVP, but I think they coming to MSG, kid. That's what I'm hoping for. We're gonna see Minnesota at MSG.
I think you're being disrespectful.
Yeah, that's the ideal finals, right?
Yeah, you're being disrespectful, Nick. Let me get through what I'm saying now. Everybody everybody quick today. Everybody quick today. Everybody got a quick trigger, bro.
Everybody got a quick trigger, bro. You mad about them texts, bro?
Everybody got a quick trigger today, bro.
It's so better not interrupt them tonight, boys.
Hey, look, so I'm saying you're being disrespectful because OKC top to bottom is the better team. But the question is who's the better player? I agree with Spike and Nick. And AE. Mr. Ant-Man is definitely the best player. And what Spike is talking about, man, is a cultural difference. Nobody on this panel has been to Canada yet, let alone Toronto. I've been there.
I've been there. I went there last summer.
Okay, bet. And my best friend is from Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Grew up there and grew up here in Atlanta. He could tell you that it's a cultural difference. The way that you grow up over there, I'm not saying that you don't have a dog because you can't be the MVP of the NBA and you don't have no dog in you. So I'm not questioning the fact if he does or if he doesn't, but it's different, especially when you come from a city like Atlanta. AE's dog is he's a bigger dog with a bigger bite and a bigger bark. You know what I'm saying?
And the real Atlanta, too. Not the outskirts.
The real Atlanta, exactly.
The suburbs, like the real Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he talked that stuff. And also he's a football player first. He liked the contact. He built different, bro. And my heart says I want the Minnesota Timberwolves to win. And that's who I'm picking because I want to see Ant win the championship because the whole narrative of the Kingslayer being the youngest player to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? A la D-Wade. You know what I'm saying? But D-Wade had an aging Shaq, but he still had Shaq. Shaq helped him get there, and then D-Wade took it over the top and is really literally, and Julius Randle's having a hell of a game. But we know that the whole reason why they even here is because of Ant. All that being said, I think OKC is the better team, but I'm picking with my heart this round, so I'm picking Minnesota in 7.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Ant is it's crazy to say this because, like we said, SGA is the MVP of the league, I believe, at this point. I just think he's been terribly inconsistent at times. So for me, Ant is that guy, but I still think OKC is the more complete team. I think it's still early. They just got hit with a great shot by Minnesota, but they only down 4 points. We're talking like you think they down by 20.
Hey, that's what it sounded like to me. I'm not watching the game, but it sounded like they were getting their ass kicked.
Nah, they only down 4 points. And SGA is not playing well right now. So this is your time to win the game. This is a game you got to have. But I just think OKC got a little bit too much, and I think it's going to come on in the end. I do think Ant is going to push it 7 games, but it's tough to do. I don't think Randall's going to be able to keep it up.
So you got OKC in 7?
OKC in 7, yes.
See how he tried to skate up. He tried to act like he
No. I said that first. I said that first. Yes. OKC in 7.
It's gonna be rough seeing Ant not make it to the finals again. But I got OKC in 6.
Ooh.
Julius Randle has been playing amazing basketball all playoffs here.
I'm upset, Ken.
Like
this nigga ain't never looked like, bruh.
I don't know who this is, Nick.
I don't know. I'm oohing and eyeing over. Like, bro, he ain't never done this shit in New York in the playoffs. That is
never.
He look like regular season Julius Randle.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. That's why I picked against him in the first round against the Lakers. I didn't know he was going to do this and do it in the second round again. Like, and smiling and laughing about it. Like it's easy.
That's why I questioned FIFA when he said that OKC is the better overall team. I'm like, bro, if we kind of go down the list, bro, I'm picking I think it's a wash. I just think who do you like more, Shea or Ant?
I think OKC has more depth. I think you can bring Wiggins off the bench. You can bring Wallace off the bench.
But them unproven niggas though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Man, them boys.
Does OKC have a better player than Randall?
That's what I'm saying.
OKC have a better player than Randall?
Isaiah Joe.
What?
No. I was naming the players they could bring in. I didn't say he was better.
Right. I'm asking. He didn't play a lot in the last series, but you can bring
OKC.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Does OKC have a better player than Julius Randle?
No. Chet is trash.
Of course.
Yeah, Chet is not it.
Chet is trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
But did they have a better player than Aaron Gordon?
Yes.
The way Aaron Gordon was playing?
By the time Aaron Gordon got to game 7, yeah.
Well, in game 7, they had a better player than
I'm saying if Aaron Gordon was
better than Gordon.
Who?
Williams, the other Williams.
Oh, Jalen Williams is nice.
Not healthy.
But he's not consistent.
He better than Aaron Gordon.
Not healthy.
He had an awful series, bro.
No, Aaron Gordon.
I would put them at the same, or if I would put at worst.
Aaron Gordon was way more consistent than Jalen Williams was last
and he was more
Aaron Gordon kept him in. Yeah, he was clutch.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon was balling. I'm gonna give him his props. But I just think that look, man, it's just like I said in the last series. That's why I picked them to beat Denver. They have been the better team all year. Period. It doesn't matter. I know, and it's hard to really judge Minnesota because the version of Minnesota that we're watching now, we haven't seen this all year. So I don't know.
I ain't gonna do that to you, Ken, because we saw
it was the last 2 months. But in the first, they were barely above 500.
But they got out of the play-in. They won their way out of the play-in to be the 6th seed, and they were rewarded with the Lakers, and they proved that they were the better team.
Right, but what I'm saying is that OKC has been this since the start of the season, all the way through. OKC came together. They had new players in. They had to figure out everything work, and then they kind of figured shit out. They got incredibly hot. And then they've been rolling, and they've just been, stomping through everybody. Granted, Curry was out last series, but OKC has been a better team, bro. And I think they learned a lot in that last series. They were in some very, very crucial games that they could have lost. Game 4, Game 5. Like these were moments that they grew up where, FIFO and Q were coming over here preaching to us about them being too young and saying they were too young to be able to do anything, but they were the best team all year, and I wasn't going to give them that excuse. And they came out on, they won the series.
I'm not giving them an excuse. Period. Once you're in the Final Four, you're in the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuses. My thing is that all year, no one picked this team. No one was willing to say, like, this team is guaranteed going to the Western Conference Finals for the things you just said, Ken. They got the MVP. They got the deepest team in the league. No one on this panel. No one on this panel, because I asked multiple times. I was like, bro, why the fuck are y'all not saying
into this? They're the favorites going
into this. No, Spike, listen. No. Wait. Listen to what Nick is saying.
Nick trying to do this street shit and this Vegas shit.
No.
Vegas says they were the favorites.
First of all,
you're talking about Vegas.
Yeah.
But Nick is saying when we were having a conversation here on the show, and he would bring up OKC being the favorite to win it all, and it was excuse after excuse, and Nick was like, why not? I don't get it. Blah, 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 blah. So I get you in what Vegas was saying, but on this show, we were trying to figure out why can't OKC go to the finals if they've been the best team all year. Okay. And it was excuse after excuse after excuse.
Yeah, y'all kept on saying they're young, and I'm like, bro, that's not going to change next year. They're still going to be a young-ass team next year. And they already they already had their lumps last season.
Experience.
It's not about age; it's about experience.
But that's the thing.
The first time they've been here. Anthony Edwards was here last year.
That don't matter because since 2019, we've had a different championship team every year since 2019. We have no repeat champs. That means there's a lot of new blood getting rings.
But it's actually been 7.
That's a crazy narrative too.
Years.
It's been 7.
Yeah, 2019.
Look at the Celtics and what they've endured since they've won that championship. They went to a finals. They went to a conference finals. They've gone through the losses in order to make that win. Oklahoma City still ain't did that yet. So it's still a feasible possibility that they get here and Anthony Edwards is able to take over these games. Rudy Gobert is able to do something crazy. Your man's Julius Randle was able to do something, and they just are not experienced enough to be able to win this series. That's a really likely possibility.
But yeah, it probably is because they've been here and Anthony and Edwards know what it's like. But yeah, I think OKC. I think if they don't win this game, they lost game 1 last series, and that was against a championship team. Like these guys know how to win in clutch moments.
Yeah.
And
the moment's not too big.
Yeah. And they found ways to win that series.
We don't know that yet. I don't think we know that the moment's not too big yet because that's y'all talking about the second round of the playoffs. Y'all talking about the first round of the playoffs. We're not talking about an Eastern Conference Finals against people who have been experienced and have done this before. We from an era, Ken, where we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen with Jordan. We've seen this happen against the Pistons. We've seen this happen where it's like, oh, they just don't have enough experience to be able to do this.
Spike, I'm gonna challenge your point, what you just said, because you said that they're going up against a team that's experienced and that's been here before.
Yeah.
Was that not Denver?
It was. And that's part of the role. That's part of the role that a team like them go on to get to the conference championship and lose still because they ain't got the experience that Anthony Edwards has. Like we know the shortcomings that Denver had. Like we know the injuries, we know all the things we talk about Jamal Murray, no bench, whatever it may be. Minnesota's a different team.
All right.
Anthony Edwards is a different player.
Man, I don't know if it's gonna matter with all these goofy ass fouls that OKC got the best home cooking.
Yeah, I don't know how that was a foul.
In the playoffs at that, like y'all letting all this ticky-tack shit go, and then y'all gonna call that goofy ass shit, bro. Right.
I feel you, but the way I look at it is Oklahoma. We just said they just took a great shot for Minnesota to start this game. SGA is 3 for 14 in this game, and yet they're up 2 now. So in saying that, you got to have these type games. You need a 10-point lead at this point. And it still ain't comfortable, but you need to be up at this point. I just don't see them keeping him down like this. So it's gonna be tough to win these games.
He's 3 for 14 in the first game of the Western Conference Finals.
He's nervous.
Correct. And what I'm saying is
Anthony Edwards not 3 for 14. He's been here before.
But Anthony Edwards is losing the game right
and they're losing the game, Lou. That's what I'm saying.
They may tie it up, right? It's too early to call, nigga. The game is still going on.
No, it's still going on. I'm not saying
y'all creating narratives based off runs.
That's spite.
No, the only thing I'm saying is, you know, if at some point I expect him to get it going, don't you?
Who? Actually, yeah. He's that good. He's gonna get it going. He's still nervous though. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't know when those nerves are gonna kick in and when they're not gonna kick in.
I don't think it's nervous.
That's gonna cost him a game.
I actually thought
nervous.
Minnesota would lose this game because OKC just came off a game, so I thought they would be more rhythm.
That's what I thought. Too.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But Spike, I don't think what we're seeing from SGA is nerves. I think it's just an adjustment. Because all of these Minnesota dudes have the height and the athleticism that Denver didn't have. So, like early on, when you seen him hit the in and out spin, go to the layup, and the dude was there to block it, Denver wasn't doing that. So it's an adjustment period.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So I don't think it's scared or not being in the moment is an adjustment. But Ant is a fucking dog. God.
I'm gonna say you just see that shot. That's how I've been here before a shot. That's when I've been here before a shot. And this he ain't been here before.
Different, bro.
Let's get to the best series of the playoffs.
He got 20. Julius Randle, dog, he got 20.
Yeah, but
and his Robin role.
It's the heart. It's the heart of this. Like what's going on.
And his second halves in the playoffs has been crazy. Like he just catch fire. He don't miss. Real quick question before we move on. Does it mean anything to beat Denver in the playoffs anymore?
Yeah, I think it's still not after this year. Not after this year.
Well, this year, I still think it did. Even with the injury to Aaron Gordon, I still think people favored Denver because you had Joker, which people still think Joker is the greatest player in the world. So, in saying that, to beat them, I still think it matters. They're still world champs, even though they didn't win it this past year. It's still like you still think that they're a level above where OKC was based off experience. So I would still have expected them to win this series. So to win that series meant a lot. And to come back after the first game.
My thing is that if Aaron Gordon's hamstring wasn't as tight as Shelton's jersey, they may have won. We may have seen Denver, hosting a home game right now. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think it matters more to players to beat LeBron, Curry, or KD than it does to beat Joker.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Ken. That's right.
Yeah, from a legacy perspective, 100%. Yeah. Joker hasn't reached those
Joker not gonna
yet.
I don't think
Joker
not gonna get
Denver
like that.
He only got one chip.
Yeah,
he only got one chip. All of them got more than one ring.
All right, so we'll jump to a quick commercial and then we'll be back with we need to talk right after this quick break.
If you are a fan of gaming, then you need to check out Dead End Gaming. Dead End Gaming brings you honest reviews, hilarious moments, and deep dives into the conversations take place in the industry. No sugarcoating, just real gamers gaming. Check out Dead End Gaming, the world's most dangerous gaming crew, on Twitch or YouTube. Just look for Dead End Gaming ATL. That's Dead End Gaming ATL.
All right, man. We need to talk. We need to talk. I might take on watch too. I think I got something up for that, but we need to really have an honest conversation about Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler, I've argued with you guys over and over the years about him being a superstar, about this, that, and the other, and I think he has been one of the most overrated, overhyped players, of the last 5 years plus, and I think he went on an incredible run. But what I saw in that series, I saw a quitter. A quitter that was so evident that even
someone that was hurt.
Dwayne Wade had to call him out. And Dwayne Wade had to call him out holding the one thing Jimmy Butler will never see. a championship, a finals MVP. He was holding that while he was talking. This isn't just me saying this now, Spike, Shelton, FIFO, Nick. A great Heat legend was saying this man wasn't even looking at the basket. And I was so glad that video came out because it just gives more credence to the things that I was going to come on here and say. Shelton was even saying, "Oh, this man is hurt. Something wrong. I don't know what's wrong with Jimmy. Jimmy missed a layup. Maybe Jimmy ain't shit. You know when he need to be. When Steph got hurt, I saw a man that quit on his team, and I did not see somebody that was hurt. He had one good game after Steph got hurt, and then he was MIA. Once they lost that game, Jimmy said, "Fuck it, I'm going fishing."
Hey, kid, There's two things can be true. Everything you're saying is right, but at the same time, Jimmy's still a legend, so let's not do that. You know what I'm saying?
He was is he a Hall of Famer?
He was hurt. He was hurt.
No.
Let's not stop acting like he wasn't hurt.
He's done this before, Spike. This ain't the first time he's done this in the playoffs. He's done this before. He's done this before. He did it in Philly in a Game 7 in Philly. He did. I'm pretty sure he's done it in Houston. In Miami. He's a toxic player. He destroys everywhere he goes. He torches
that. I agree
the
with
ground.
I agree with that.
And he gets a pass for it because people talking about his competition. What results did he get?
He got the Heat to 2 finals. My thing is that yes, he's a Hall of Famer because he's done more in his career than Reggie Miller. Period.
Don't even engage with that.
Reggie Miller and he put a the best of Reggie Miller ain't shit compared to Jimmy Butler.
Don't even engage with that.
I'm saying that. I'm just saying that.
He's trying. It's a misdirection to get you off of Jimmy Butler's failures. We just need to be honest about Jimmy Butler.
All I'm saying, I said you was right because I would quit too. Once Steph is gone, bro, and I busted my ass literally, I'm done, nigga. Let's wrap this shit up. I got my money, Lou. He got paid before that series started, nigga. It's time for me to go. Let me relax in San Francisco for the summer. Shit, let me take some time off.
Well, he took time off in that series.
He carried that Miami franchise since D Wade left. He tired of doing that.
That's why his hip was hurt.
He quit on the whole franchise, bro. He quit on the whole team. Pat got him up out of there, bro.
So Ken, you don't think he was injured at all?
Not to the point where he couldn't play. Jimmy could still play.
Because you understand him being like, I'm not going to be the one to carry this team to whatever.
Spike, here's the thing. And this is why this is what makes it even worse. All Jimmy had to do was win one game.
No, it didn't. No, it wouldn't have.
No, Nick. Because Ant told Gary Payton III. That's the issue.
What conversation are you referencing, nigga? What conversation
on the court when Ant said y'all just trying to win one so Steph can get back?
Did he say Gary Payton Jr. or did he say Gary Payton? He went down how many lineages of Gary Payton did you go down?
It doesn't matter. Shelton, what did he say? He told Shelton just said it.
He said y'all just trying to win one so Steph can get back, ain't you? He said, ain't gonna happen.
And he said, and Ant held his promises. He said it ain't gonna happen. And that's exactly what it was. And Ant got him up out of there because he did not want to see Steph. Because Ant knew what was up. So if Ant knew that, if the Warriors knew that, and all the media knew that, we're gonna move on, then Jimmy knew that shit as well. Jimmy just wasn't trying to do it. So nah, bro. Get Jimmy up out of here.
I don't know. I think Jimmy is a solid 3 on any championship team. Hey, Q, it's time to take that Eagles background off.
Shit, bro. I forgot to send B one.
Get that shit out of here.
It's week 1.
Get that shit out of here. No, get that shit out of here, bro.
It's already a Hall of Fame game tomorrow, ain't it? Some shit.
No, get that shit out of here, bro. We tired of that Eagles background.
What did Jaylen say, Shelton? We're here to talk about the 2025 Eagles.
All right. Yeah. Let's move on. Because once again, I'm a prophet. But the New York Knicks destroyed the Boston Celtics at home in Madison Square Garden. And that was about Jimmy Butler, by the way. The New York Knicks destroyed the Boston Celtics at home in Madison Square Garden, 119-81 to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the Indiana Pacers. Who is the best player in this series, and who do you have winning, and in how many games?
I don't even think this is a Like Jaylen Brunson is the best player in this series.
Oh.
What the fuck? What? No, God.
Halliburton's second best player.
It's a unique question.
Maybe.
It's a very unique question because they both do two separate things that are equally as important for their teams. With a coach like Tibbs, you need that point guard or really just that one player who's just the engine of the offense and carries it. Jaylen Brunson is not like a slouch on defense. He's not a complete cone. But this might be the one series where Rick Carlisle tries to target Brunson as a defender. I imagine that Tibbs is going to want to counter by putting someone like Josh Hart or maybe OG. He might be a little bit too long on Tyrese, but Tyrese, what he does for his team as the distributor and making everyone better, it can't be discounted. Not to once again take a shot at my brother Sheldon, but it's like, contrary to popular NBA belief, Tyrese Halliburton is who a lot of people think LaMelo Ball is as a distributor, in my personal opinion. If we actually look at how he sets up his teammates, and if you look at the 3-point shot, they both have those those jerky shots, but one is leading to winning on top of not being a complete cone on defense as well. So if you ask me who's the better player, I would want Jaylen Brunson personally because I'll take the offensive output. But for what Rick Carlisle wants his team to do, and when you look at how that team of Indiana is comprised of what many would consider just quote-unquote guys outside of Tyrese, that shows you Tyrese's value as really just a true point guard. He's in that Jason Kidd vein minus the defense. But I think Jaylen Brunson is definitely my personal pick.
I mean, who you got winning?
Is playing better right now.
Hold on, people. Who you got winning, Q, and how many games?
Indiana in 7.
You said all that to say that. Go ahead, FIFO.
So I think Jaylen Brunson is playing. It's hard to say like better basketball because both of these guys are playing exceptional basketball. I think what you're talking about between LaMelo and Tyrese Halliburton, the difference is efficiency. There was a stat that I was telling B the other last week. In NBA history, Tyrese Halliburton is 4th all time with 15 assists, 0 turnover games. You know what I'm saying? And he's done it in like 200 games where like everybody else had, 5, 6, 800, 1,000 plus games to do that in. So for Tyrese to be that efficient is ridiculous. And for him to be as young as he is to do that. So they do two different things. But right now, again, I don't know the phrase to use because it's not better basketball that Jaylen is playing, but it's not even more clutch because Tyrese Halliburton has been clutch. Yeah. Like that 3 that he hit, off of the missed free throw, like that's clutch as hell to tell them boys bye-bye. And then beating the number 1 team in the East in 5 games, like that's clutch, and Tyrese Halliburton is that engine. But Jaylen is just grittier right now. And like you said, for a Thibodeau team, he just fits the bill. But again, for a Rick Carlisle team, Tyrese Halliburton fits the bill. I got New York in 7 because I feel that in the way that the playoffs have played out from a referee standpoint, from a calls perspective, they've let him play. That is advantage New York, advantage Thibodeau. So that's the only, because I'm not going to say that they're evenly matched. I do like New York's talent a little bit more than I like Indiana's talent. But when you allow them boys to play, Thibodeau going to make sure that they're going to get scrappy. So I pick the Knicks in 7.
Sheldon.
I got.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Spike.
Go ahead, Spike.
I was going to say I got Jaylen Brunson as the best player in this series, and I got the Knicks in 6. A little to what FIFA was saying that's out. The refs are letting them play. I don't think that they will. They're not going to allow the Pacers to take this series from pity pat fouls or whatever it may be. I think the Knicks are, with the length that they have for all the wing players and the defensive options that they have, with like they built a perfect roster to be able to do what they need to do at this point in the playoffs. So. And with Jaylen Brunson doing what he needs to do, I got the Knicks in 6, and I got Jaylen Brunson as the best player.
I got Jaylen Brunson is the best player in the series, and that's, to be honest, without question. He's had a hell of a season, man, and a hell of a playoff run. But I still got the Pacers in 7, and the reason being is I think they have more depth. I just really think the depth is what's going to win it out. And be mindful of Miles Turner down the stretch. I think Turner's going to have a big series. I don't know what give me that feeling. I just don't think the Knicks are going to be able to match up with him. And I don't trust Cat, man. I don't trust Cat. I trust Cat.
I think he will be the difference maker. I think he's going to be the difference maker.
Ken, I was going to ask you.
Right? Go ahead, Nick.
I was going to ask you, who in the last 10 years has said, "Oh, Miles Turner's going to be a difference maker"?
Nobody. No, I might sound crazy with that, Nick, but hey, I feel it, Nick.
FIFA, we need to have a conversation about Tom Thibodeau, but that may be another day. But
that's another day.
He's reached the pinnacle that I wanted him to this season. Get this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. When you make a trade for Cat and you blow up the roster that was one game away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, the expectation is that's the level, if not further. And I'm more happy and shocked that the Knicks are. The Knicks are in a position. I ain't gonna talk about health. I'm just gonna say the Knicks are in a position to continue on with their starting 5 that has clearly grown together since the end of the regular season. I got the Knicks in 7 to cover my bases, but my heart is saying Knicks in 5 because the best player in this series to me is Karl Anthony Towns. And I need him because when I came into this whole season,
that's nuts.
I came into this whole season or to the end of the season saying that the Knicks need to focus on their late game execution as a big key. If you looked at their playoff games, the majority of their wins came down to we were the better team when it came down to the stretch. I need Cat to show up for 3 out of the 4 wins that they need to win this series, because if he doesn't, I don't know how this series. That's the reason why we traded for him, Lou. That's what I'm saying. Like this is where he has to show.
You can't depend on that. You can't depend on him being the best player 3 out of however many games versus Brunson being the guy all throughout the series.
Brunson has been your most consistent.
It's not logical.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not worried about what Brunson can do, but at their peaks, who's more unstoppable, Cat or Brunson? It's
Brunson.
Brunson
is Cat. At their peaks, at their peaks, bro. I've seen Cat win us a game against Detroit when we needed to, when the series was turning. I've seen Cat be able to easily he's one of the few players in NBA history to average a double-double, like 20 and 12. Like this nigga, and that's his average.
And Edwards said the same thing about Cat last year in the playoffs, by the way.
And they lost.
Hey, listen. We ain't been to this. The Knicks ain't been to this part of the playoffs in damn near 25 years. So it's like, at this point, we got to push the chips in. If you're gonna push all your chips in, what year to better do it than now? Cat has to show up. I don't know what he's doing right now. I don't know what his what's that shit called? FIFA. Nick, his grandma, whatever it is, somebody need to talk to him and say, look, nigga,
Nick,
this is your time to shine.
Nick, he do gotta show up, but you would depend on Brunson more than Cat, right?
Yes, but that's as in clutch moments. You said I said the best player.
Period. Not clutch moments. Period. The person that I need to come and win me games is Brunson. I can't depend on Cat to win me games.
We didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. You're not a Knicks fan, so I get why you're saying that off of what you're going off of what you've seen, and that's why you're saying your answer. I'm telling you what I know and why they made that trade. You know what I'm saying? They made that trade for Cat because he was going to take us over the top. He's going to take the Knicks over the top to win. That's what I'm saying. The whole point of the plan is for him to show up in games and series like this to be the best player and to be dominant. I know he hasn't shown that consistently in his career. That's what's
in theory. In theory, Nick is right because, and I'm trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. In theory, Nick is right because Cat is the bigger player, he's the more domineering player. He had the better pedigree coming out of college, all that stuff, right? We know this. But the reality of the situation is that Jaylen Brunson, to FIFO's earlier point, he's playing the most impressionable basketball play to play. I don't know if it's necessarily the most impactful in terms of any player left in the playoffs, but you feel the impressions of, oh man, they wouldn't be here without that three. Or okay, they wouldn't even have been in position to get that corner three from OG if he didn't push the pace or if he didn't set the tone or set the table. Cat to me is an enigma because you need him probably 2 or 3 games, like Nick is saying, for sure. But I can't say that they brought him to New York for any other reason than to be like Robin to Jalen Brunson's Batman. Right. And I think that at some, in some of the comic books, Robin saved the day from time to time. It wasn't every damn comic book, wasn't even mostly 20% of them, but he came through sometimes. And I think that's what they're looking for. For me, this all is going to come down to coaching. And that's why I have to give Indiana the leg up here, because I think that Indiana is a smarter basketball team and they're a more full and healthier basketball team, clearly, than Boston was. I think Boston beats themselves a lot because they have so much quote-unquote talent that they just rely on the talent to do what they need to do. To me, Rick Carlisle is so meticulous in how he runs offensive sets, and he needs a point guard like a Tyrese, like a Jason Kidd, so on and so forth, to set the table that they can manufacture points. And I think that Pascal and Miles Turner are going to give Cat a lot more problems, which is why Brunson's going to have to eat.
But my thing is, just because you're the best player doesn't mean you're the leader of the team. You know what I'm saying? We saw that in the Miami Heat days with LeBron and Wade. We saw that in the Golden State days with KD and Steph.
Are you saying Cat's the leader of the team?
No, I'm saying Brunson is. You look like the things that Q was talking about is leadership. Like if we need something to happen, we go to our leader. But when we need someone to be dominant, we have to go to our best player. And I'm saying that, again, I know what I'm saying is going off of a huge if. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not drinking right now. But I'm telling you, for the Knicks to really dominate this series, Cat has to show up in a way that we have not seen Cat show up in the playoffs before. The same way we talked about Julius Randle and what he's done so far consistently, we need to see Cat do like he's averaging at least 20 and 12, and if not better.
Just real quick, in that example, Nick, the reason why I disagree with that is because in the Miami Heat, they didn't win until D-Wade passed it on to LeBron. He had to literally make that a public thing. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just going off the simple template of my best player isn't my leader on the team. That's it.
Yeah, but remember D-Wade, but remember D-Wade said, "Yo, this is not LeBron's team."
But either way, the leader had to say that. You know what I'm saying? The leader had to get that up. So we already knew who it was before anybody had to say anything.
Shelton, were you going to say something?
No, not on that. Other than the fact that Nick said it best himself, you're gonna need Cat to do something that he hasn't done, and you know what Brunson can do. So that lets you know he's the best player on the court. You need Brunson to be consistent and be himself. If he's doing what he does, you have a chance. If it's Cat, not Brunson, like you said, Cat gonna get you maybe 1 or 2 games, but Brunson has to be consistent throughout.
I got the Knicks in 6. Which is crazy, but I think in similar fashion to Minnesota, we really don't know what this team is. They made a lot of changes. They brought in a lot of pieces. It seems like now they found a way to gel in the playoffs. They caught some breaks here and there, with the young, inexperienced team and Pistons. But I think that series helped them build some resolve to climb their way out of large deficit, because they've had to do it a couple of times in that series against a team that, embodied what Detroit is, just grimy, tough, hard-nosed. And when they were down against Boston multiple times in every game, they were down by double digits. They didn't quit, and they kept coming back, and they won and prevailed. And I think they're going to have to do it again here. But I think they will. I think it's a rematch from last year, and I believe that the Knicks won't pay back. And this team looks very, very different. And I think Cat is making a difference. All these trades they've made a difference. Bringing in Mikal Bridges, bringing in Karl Anthony Towns, yeah, it's making a difference. And I think they're hot at the right moment.
Shout out to the Knicks front office too. You know what I'm saying? Worldwide West and all them. Like they've turned this franchise around. We ain't seen a franchise like this in 25 years.
They really
you know what
have.
I'm saying? So like shout out to them. And as far as my last Indy take or critic is to Q's point, I do think they have the better coach, but I don't think they play as defense as well as people saying they is, or what the statistics and numbers say they do, because they faced two hurt ass teams that are skewing some numbers, in my opinion, Ken. I don't like we're gonna see what, because I think their offense is like a faucet that can't be turned off. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna eventually just flood the house. Like you're just gonna get flooded with threes and points. But defensively, they let a lot of motherfuckers score. So my thing is that the Knicks have to be on the defensive end, have to be able to slow it down a little bit. I think I would put OG and Bridges on Halliburton exclusively. Let them take turns, bro. Like let someone else prove. Let Siakam be able to pull out his championship bag. Let Miles Turner. If Miles Turner win the game, let Miles Turner win the series.
Hey, real quick, we got a special guest that just popped up.
I hope
Let's
it
go. Wow.
Ain't no hating ass nigga. Oh,
let's go.
It's a party, bro.
I thought it was Kyle. I thought it was Kyle. I'm glad it was Kyle. What up, B?
What's up? What up, y'all?
What up, 430?
Y'all can hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Okay. So what you were saying though, and this is like I'm speaking from a place of truth. You can't stop a point guard, bro. And that's the reason why Indiana's offense is so efficient. I don't give a damn what the hell Thibodeau going to do. I don't care what player you put on Halliburton. It's not about Halliburton scoring. It's about Halliburton creating. Yeah. And you cannot stop a playmaking point guard from creating.
What do you about
to Brunson's a scorer. Brunson's a scorer.
But he's a playmaker.
He's
two different types of playmaking.
Halliburton,
it don't matter, but he's still a point guard.
Yeah, it does. No. It does. It does, Spike. Big time. It does.
He averages a high end of assists. He's a playmaker.
Let people talk.
He's a bucket getter. Okay. If Jaylen Brunson goes 2 for 11 with 15 assists and 10 points, that's a bad game for Jaylen Brunson. Tyrese Halliburton ain't gonna go 2 for 11. He's gonna go 2 for 6.
We've seen Tyrese Halliburton do like 5 and 8, and not. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like.
But they win games. They win games because it's not predicated on him scoring. You know the key indicator to know if Tyrese Halliburton's having a good game: turnovers. His assist to turnover ratio. Yeah. For Jaylen Brunson, how many buckets did he get? Even if he didn't shoot efficiently, Jaylen Brunson's a volume scorer. You want him to take 20 plus shots a game. He needs to score 20, 25 points, 30 points for them to be a viable championship contender.
And just to make sure I understand, Halliburton don't. Like, what does he need to score?
Not necessarily.
It's not about scoring.
Bro,
it's about assist to turnover.
My whole point. Oh, go ahead, Q.
No, I'm just saying, if you look at Rick Carlisle's team that beat the Miami Heat, Jason Kidd as the point guard, and this is the same team, like in terms of like how they've built it up. A big man, point guard, shooters around the, you know what I mean? This is, and they want to get out and run.
Stretch four and Siakam. Yeah.
Tyson Chandler, Miles Turner, like this is what they want to do. It's just a little bit more updated to today's game. And that's what I'm saying is that he's in that vein of, even if he gets 9 points, if the nigga gets 11 fucking assists and 7 rebounds,
one
all
turnover
over the court, he's produced probably like 30 points for other people. So it's like, you know, and don't let Pascal Siakam get you 17, and don't let Nembhard get you 10, and McConnell gets 6 off the, like they have guys, and Mathurin is dope too.
No one's worried about Nimrod or all of them little niggas you can't even spell. All I'm saying is that
that's how people lose, because they discount them because
I'm not discounting. I'm not.
Who are these guys? But they're doing it.
I'm not discounting them. I'm just not going to count on them. My thing is with the point of Halliburton and with the OG and the Mikal Bridges, I want them to disrupt whatever the fuck he's doing. I'm not saying that Halliburton is. They can, bro.
Hey, let's hear from Weezy 430.
Yeah,
what's up,
all I want to say is Halliburton ain't shit. That's what y'all want me to say.
No,
he ain't shit.
You just a hater, Nick. That's all it is, and you don't know basketball.
Coming Nick, from who was the best in that series?
Hey, B, what are you thinking about the playoffs so far, brother?
Just as a whole.
Well, as a whole, and then give us your outlook on the conference finals.
Oh, I mean, I'm loving it. You know, y'all know I love ball, man. So yeah, I mean, Originally, I was hoping we was gonna have 2 number 1 seeds in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals, but Cavs stunk it up. I'm not gonna throw the injury excuse out there because they only missed them 1 game. They had them all the rest of the games that they lost. So, and then game 2, they was up by 20 something and they still lost the game. So I'm not giving Cavs no little lean way out. But overall, I'm loving the playoffs. I like the fact that we got, and I think I said this before on social media, like I like the fact that we're gonna have four guys that's all fishing for their first championship: Brunson, Tyrese, and Shea Gill. So I'm kind of glad that they that they all fighting for their first ship. This is the first time. I also said this on social media. First time since 1996 that we won't have a Western Conference final played in Texas or California, which is fucking wild. That's crazy.
Wait, how many years?
Since 1996.
Yeah.
That's like
the Western Conference Finals won't be played in either or California or Texas, in the state of California or state of Texas.
Right.
First time since 96, bro.
30 years.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy coincidence, but
that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. I'm loving the playoffs. I think these conference finals is definitely, again, I'm pretty sure we've all preached this. Y'all should know this. I mean, matchups and coaches has definitely been showing us why that's important in the playoffs throughout this entire playoffs, I think. And then you're gonna get your games from other guys. Like what I was telling you, Ken. I don't know what Shaq gonna do this matchup, but that Denver matchup was hell for him. That's why he looked like he wasn't worth a damn, and that's why he looked like he was worth every penny in the Memphis series, because that was a better matchup for him. That Denver matchup was horrible. So this OKC and Minnesota. I don't even know.
Who you got?
Who I got between these 4 teams?
Yeah, but right now the 2 and 2.
Yeah. I got OKC in 7. I think this series can go 7. OKC and Minnesota. And then shit. Damn, Brunson been playing so lights out, man. It's almost kind of hard for me to bet up against New York, man. You said what?
I just said bro.
Yeah, Brunson been playing so damn lights out. But it's like I don't trust Knicks front court. I don't know. For some reason, I don't trust their front. I trust Indy's front court more than I trust the Knicks front court. That's the advantage I might give them. But the guard, man, Brunson, man, that dude's just been. He has literally been like the best player in the playoffs in this entire playoffs, man. He's been lights out. He's been lights out. He's been lights out, bro. Yeah. This is non-biased as possible, bro. Like I'm just going by what my eyes seeing, and yeah, Brunson been crazy, bro. But I think I might edge it to Indiana, only like I said, because the front court, man. I trust Siakam and Turner more than I trust Catton or Mitch Robinson. That's the only reason.
That's what they about to show you the all these versions of the Twin Towers, B.
You say about to show you all the versions of it?
all these versions, the Kroger brand, the Food Lion, Stop and Shop, whatever region you in, your local grocery store.
So I know you picking the Knicks. Who you picking in this Western Conference series?
I'm going Ant-Man. I'm going American black man. I ain't going Canadian black man.
Canadian black man. Hey, look, I'm not mad at that. I'm not Nick. I am not mad at that at all.
It ain't looking good right now, but I'm still going.
It's number. Come on, y'all. It's 1 game. This is game 1.
I'm just saying it don't look good right now. But
he wasn't as confident. He wasn't as confident against Detroit, B though. When he played y'all, he was not this confident.
No, it's only 1 game. It's only don't be flipping over chairs after game 1, y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just talking about the people that's watching, that listens to, that watch sports.
You can talk about Spike too. Spike, I had to remind Spike to calm down earlier. He was jumping.
I'm still standing on mine. I still think that Minnesota gonna win it in 7.
That's not a crazy pick.
I believe in Ant that much.
That's one thing I love about these playoffs, at least these Western Conference, East Conference finals. Like it's really no wrong answer in who you pick. Like I think in these,
it's a wrong answer.
Of course, you gonna say that. Of course, I mean you repping your Knicks. You repping your Knicks. So
I've been telling y'all the truth for a minute. Y'all just gonna say it's fandom.
He wasn't saying that when they played Detroit. When they played Detroit, he was scared.
I said Knicks is 6. And I said it.
You-
And I
you
double.
was
I
there.
double. I double.
He ain't been scared the whole
you
playoff
was-
show.
you-
Not give it to him. He ain't
Yeah.
been scared the whole playoff.
No, in that first series.
When,
go back
and then,
watch
and
it.
then in Boston, I looked FIFA 09. I said Knicks in 6. Nigga, I'm a tell, and that's why I'm saying Knicks in 7 with Indy.
They got them in 5. So you got Knicks in 7 against
Knicks in
so you-
7. I
you think
want to
it's
say 5. I want to say 5 though.
So
I think
you got
Cat
Minnesota at what in 6 or 7?
I got Minnesota in 6.
In 6.
They gotta win it at home, bro. I do not want them to come back here. They don't get it. Hey, OKC's home cooking is the best home cooking I've seen in a minute, bro.
Yeah,
Bro.
like,
They get all the calls and everything.
It didn't stop Denver.
It didn't stop Denver.
Shit, where's Denver at now, kid?
But and Nick, in order for Minnesota to have a chance in the series, they have to win on the road. They got to get a road game.
They should have tried to steal this game. You know, this game 1 is always the best game to steal, which is why I'm nervous about Indy tomorrow. But I need
because y'all got home court advantage.
They tried to steal this game, they just couldn't do it.
It's still early.
It ain't over. We still got 9 minutes.
So Nick, I'm sorry, I'm up here just messing up the schedule of the show. Nick,
go ahead.
What you got to say about our boy, man, D Mitch, man? What's up?
Come on, we already talked about it, bro. I'm not here to bash on black men.
I'm not saying bash. I'm just not saying bash.
Kept it a bean. I told him we had a question.
Same energy, bro. Same energy.
That's what I said, but he ain't got it.
We had a question about what changes need to be made for each losing team this past round. And when we got to the Cavs, I said they need to secure a solid number 2 to go with D Mitch because they let him down with that this year. However, that doesn't excuse what happened to him in the playoffs with him not showing up and causing some mistakes for them to lose those games.
Yeah.
So yes,
and having leads too.
But I'm
not big leads too.
They lost the game, B. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I don't give
they had big leads though. They had big leads, bro.
All I'm saying is that they need a solid number 2. Because
I just feel like if it was any other player in the NBA, you would be like, let's cancel him. Cancel him.
No, he'd be all over.
I can't say that when he averaged 30 plus.
But like you said, they lost. Would you tell me, Nick? At the end of the day, B, they lost the game. Isn't that what you say?
Yeah.
Everybody knows the stick.
They lost the game.
They lost the game.
Everyone knows the stick.
All I said is I'm not gonna kill him. I told y'all I'll hold him accountable, but I ain't gonna kill him.
But you kill anybody else though. But you kill anybody else.
I ain't killed nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you kill everybody else.
In that way,
you kill everybody else, man.
And half his time, bro. B, you over here hyping up the injuries, like trying to water down the injuries, nigga.
He ain't kill him. He ain't lay a finger on him. He did like,
bruh. Come on now, come on.
I acknowledge that he fucked up. He fucked up. Especially in game 5, I think. When he missed them free throws, he fucked up.
Yeah, he missed 3.
Nick expected more out of Cade Cunningham than he did D Mitch.
He did.
I fuck with Cade.
Talking like Cade in the league.
And
missed them free throws, but his arms were tired.
And B, Malik Beasley should win 6th man of the year because Pritchard ain't do shit in these playoffs.
Man, Malik Beasley dropped a wide open 3. Man, I'm still pissed at him, bro.
But he did more than that series than Pritchard did in the Boston series.
Man, I'm so pissed. Did they find out who the MVP yet? Did they announce that?
They're gonna announce that after this game.
Who y'all think winning?
It's SGA. It's SGA for sure.
They don't give it to Jokic probably, bro.
Shea winning it.
I feel like they're gonna do some Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson shit.
But really? It's even in saying that, that's why you say that they would give
it to. I don't think they can do that. I think Shea
SGA.
They want a new story.
It should be SGA. Which is why I think the MVP should be factored into the playoffs, but that's just me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Some of these awards.
Hey man, SGA make it to the rest of conference finals on this second playoff run, man. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Not a lot of players do that, bro. That's even some of the greats take their bumps and lumps before they even get to the Western Conference Finals. That's pretty impressive.
Hey, Chet hooping this 4th quarter.
What up?
Real quick,
Bro, y'all don't let that get fool y'all.
I was asking real quick. What's the next step for the Pistons? Is it good? Is it star time? Is it run it back and just grow, or you know what I'm saying?
This is only our first playoff run, and we still young. I would say run it back. I'm kind of curious of what Ivy's will bring if he's 100% healthy, because he was quiet as kept. he was having a good season before he had the season end injury. He had some game winning shots for us. Like it was games that we would have lost if it wasn't for him. So I'm really curious. I want us to run it back this year. I mean, if we get a nice free agency, because we got money. So if we get a nice free agency in July, to add on to what we already have,
KD
I'm cool with it.
This nigga put KD on everything like parsley, dog. Like anything.
I thought KD was supposed to be at Houston, bro.
KD. I was just saying. I just want to know your thoughts if you wanted him or not. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
be in the sweet space. They treat KD like Nutella in the Nutella NBA.
It went from Trae Young. It was Trae Young first, then it went to KD.
Damn, no. I mean, I
would
feel like
would you want Devin Booker or Bradley Beal?
No, I don't want. No.
I like Devin.
Why would you want either one of them?
I do too. I like Devin Booker.
Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, I like Devin.
You don't need him.
I just think what Devin Booker would add to Kate would be nice.
Bro,
I don't know
Booker
why I
ain't
get
shit,
that, man.
It would be a nice backcourt, but I don't know what we have to give up though.
That would be
Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker the same guy. Go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I like Thompson, man. I really like the twins. I like Holland. I like Holland I really like him. So I think if we just run it back, man, let's run it back and then see what we do next year, and then after that we can try to, do some big changes if needed. But I like it. We promise, man. We're young. Our first playoff hunt. We know what it takes. We saw what happened. We saw what happened when you slip up. You can't slip up in the playoffs, bro, because we lost big leads.
Hey, Nick,
twice.
What's up?
Hey, Nick. I know what SGA does in the offseason, man. That man go to Hollywood and go to acting class,
bro.
Because
that's what I'm saying.
The shit he getting away with right now.
The home cooking that he getting is crazy.
He didn't get that in the last series though.
He didn't
get a lot of foul calls.
No,
he didn't. But since they
he's
here,
selling it now. He's selling it, bro.
But the thing I love about SGA and I love about Brunson is that they know how to get to their spots, bro. Like when you see them, they literally get to the same spots every fucking time, and I love it, man. I love it.
My thing is with SGA and Brunson, is they bringing back the mid range. Spots. That's what I'm saying. To your point, their spots is the mid range. Like they take the inside. They can shoot threes here. They can shoot
three.
Yeah. But
do a step back. But
inside. You know what I'm saying?
We want to get that easier bucket, bro.
I was gonna say. Oh, about one last thing. The funny thing about Beasley, though, before you go, is that little shaking thing he was doing after the threes came back to bite him in the ass.
Yes,
he was shaking.
He was shaking. He dropped that. Man, he had a wide open look, bro. He dropped that.
I was scared.
I know you were scared. I know you were scared
when I seen that, bro.
Because he was taking them bad boys down.
When he dropped that bitch, I was like, "Oh, he a pussy ass nigga." Hey, shit,
bro. I was so mad. I was like, "Well, at least I got the Tigers this summer." Damn.
That's funny.
Well, I don't know, FIFO. Do you want to do worst of the week? Because it's just gonna be you in a solo shot.
No, I'll do it real quick.
All right,
Dylan Gabriel. Text message.
Worst thing I saw all week.
Don't y'all cut him off.
Dylan Gabriel. Worst thing I saw all week, man. The Browns. I don't know what the hell they doing. He don't look like he's truly an NFL quarterback. I'm gonna keep it short. Y'all niggas kept my segment short this week.
I didn't even know who the fuck that was when you was talking about you. Who was dealing? I'm like, oh wait, the Browns QB.
They gonna keep pushing him. They gonna keep pushing him because they drafted him.
I mean,
that's the only reason.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's gonna go on. I think so. It's gonna go on to the preseason. Kenny Pickett's gonna start, but they still gonna push having the amount of quarterbacks that they have until like preseason week 3. Like they ain't gonna cut nobody until preseason week 3.
They're not gonna cut. They're not gonna cut Dylan because he's a 3rd round pick. They're not gonna cut Shador because he's cheap. It's gonna be either Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco for the starting job. After they figure out who's gonna take the starting job, it's gonna be Shador's job between week 3 and 6.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he ain't starting by that London game when they face the Vikings, I'll be shocked.
It's either that or after that bye, because I want to say that the bye is
week
after
10.
that.
That's like week 10. They're bye.
All right, real quick. We know who won't get cut, and then we'll go to FIFO's power rankings. I hope you stay around for that. See what FIFA got. The Niners and Brock Purdy have agreed to a 5-year contract extension worth $265 million with $181 guaranteed. Did the 49ers under or overpay Brock Purdy?
Overpay. overpaid
It's the
on
right
all
price,
aspects.
bro.
No, hell no.
This is just the right price.
Nah. I think the right price is under 50.
You can't get him.
Can't.
No.
He's not going to do that deal.
I'm too accomplished for that. Yeah, like if I'm Brock Purdy, I'm too accomplished for that.
Draft another one, let him walk.
Yeah, we see how that went for him.
Well, look. The reason
you're talking about the same team that drafted Trey Lance. Like, no.
The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because a couple of reasons. Number one, who's the middle linebacker? You know, I'm bad with names.
Fred Warner.
They just paid him. CMC is the second highest paid running back. Now you have this quarterback that's mediocre at best as one of the. You know, he's not. Where is he slated?
I wouldn't say mediocre. He's above average.
He's
top 13 QBs.
Yeah.
So he's the top 50% of the league. He's top 50% of the league.
Pay wise, he's top 10. I don't know.
Right there with Jared Goff. He's right there with Jared Goff and all the people.
He's slotted with quarterbacks. That's what you pay quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I would have traded him. I would have let somebody else pay him.
Traded him.
Because he's not worth it. Brock Purdy's not worth it. Look,
he is the seventh highest paid quarterback. Average annual value.
No.
How many years he been in the league?
3 or 4. Look,
he's been in the
and that's a byproduct of the coaching and the culture and the players that they have around them.
Yeah,
because last year, CMC was hurt very early on. Brandon Ayuk was coming back from was he coming back from injury or he got injured? It was a cluster. It was a cluster F over there. And this is where elite QBs elevate and they show you what they're worth. And he wasn't worth $53 million. That's all. That's my point.
What do I do at quarterback if I'm the 49ers if I don't have Brock Purdy?
Bro, you could have drafted Shador.
But you didn't.
Because they paid Brock.
That's it. Yeah.
Bro, but you asking me, whatever, he's not Nutella.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but they didn't
do pay him that much.
So now we're in a position where we got to pay him.
But they should have walked away because you knew what you had. It's not like he was sitting behind. He was not like he was sitting behind a starter and he had one season and he had a pretty damn good season. Now you're gonna pay him off for that season, a la Jordan Love. That's not what this situation was. Mm-hmm. You've seen what he was, and I understand that he's gone far. But what's his name? Jimmy Garoppolo got the same squad to a Super Bowl. Jimmy G did. He's mediocre.
But my thing is this. Brock Purdy earned that contract. They still you could argue they underpaid him for what he's done based off when you compare him to the people that are getting paid more than him. He's done more than half the niggas, if not them, all of them, outside of Patty and maybe Josh Allen, maybe even Lamar. Just them three. But my thing is this: Kyle Shanahan can't afford to not re-sign Brock Purdy. That's what we really say that because this. For what FIFA was saying, he hadn't like Kyle Shanahan won a Super Bowl with either one of these quarterbacks that he got, and he didn't. And on top of that, like Lou said, we seen when he has a top 5 pick and he has a chance to pick any QB in the draft, he picks the shittiest one.
Is he the GM? I'm not. That sounded so sarcastic. I'm saying, does he have like executive powers like some coaches have?
I think him and John Lynch is in lockstep when it comes to the
he does.
But is it like unilateral power, or is he just like
it's not unilateral, but he has a very high influence on who they pick.
If that's the case, it depends on what the relationship is like with the ownership. But it's like if he has a good relationship with the ownership where they trust him to do what they need to do, he has a long leash. But if it's like a Chip Kelly situation where it's like, all right, we gonna give you this shit, but you got to produce something for us, and the leash is very short based on the production from his decisions in that GM hat seat, then I don't know if he could have let him walk. But if it's the opposite, I agree with FIFO. I'm always for people breaking the orthodox, bro, because it's just like, at what point do we stop just being like, we have to pay him because he's on our team? Like,
but he's done more than
let him walk because there's no other answer other than him for the position.
Well,
that's the person going to play the position.
That's the second point. Number one is the fact that he earned it.
Bro, it depends. I'm sorry. First of all, you already know how I feel. The owners get paid whether they win or lose. So you're telling me that it's gonna cut into the bottom line, it's number one, it's not. If you're saying that we're going to go to the first round of the playoffs with Brock Purdy this year and then lose, if I'm the 49ers, I've been to the Super Bowl 2 times in the last 10 years. I think 3 times in the last 12 or 14, if I'm not mistaken, and we've lost all 3. So clearly I've been right at the apple and I haven't gotten a bite of it. So for me, going into the first round of the playoffs or the second round and losing is not good enough. And if I have the trust of my ownership, if I'm in that position as a coach, I would tell them like, look, we can either pay this guy, or y'all saw what I did with CJ Beathard. Y'all saw what I did with a Brock Purdy. Y'all saw what I did with a Jimmy Garoppolo. We have one of the better quarterback drafts coming out next year. So do you want to set this future up for the next 10 years with the potential like stud, or do you want me to sign this guy and then we hope that it's gonna result in me building a roster around him? I don't know if that's what you
answer your question, Q. Yes. I'm not going back to the quarterback draft to try and find somebody that's going to be my next QB. I got this dude who's already got me to these places. Let's pay him. I'm a good enough coach. I can coach him up to get us to the next level. I'm not trying on some rookie in the second or third round to get us to the next level. This is the dude. I pay him and we move forward from there.
So you feel like the contract is fair. Not over, not under. Fair. It's just it is what it is. What about you, Shelton?
Number 7 is fair.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, that's just the going rate for quarterbacks. Now you pay them according to when they come up at this point. It's not necessarily if you feel like you got a franchise quarterback, and you got to feel that way because they've been successful with him. I'm not a Brock Purdy fan by any stretch of the imagination, but
they were successful with Jimmy G.
Well,
that's in the past.
Yeah, and right now what you have.
That's
with him.
History.
Yeah, it is. But
that proves
right
the
now,
point. That proves the point that you could be successful with a mediocre quarterback.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, they've just paid one.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, he's had more success
as a mediocre quarterback, though.
But to people's point, what he's saying.
Well, we was trying to let Shelton finish, though.
No, that's cool. He's proven more on the positive side than he has. Now he had a down year. By no stretch of imagination that he played great, but he's had more positives than he has negatives. And like Nick said, you got to pay him what he's worth. He's proven that he can get you to the big game. He's proven that he can play on the big stage. He did get hurt the year before the Super Bowl run, but we know he can play ball. So you pay him and you keep him moving. That's pretty much it.
Thanks. Power rankings. Doc. FIFO is up. With the power rankings.
He gonna do a wide shot.
No, I think we got it. We just trying to close up back.
It was just the one lens.
All right, so this one should be
Doc, where you at? We ready? How are we looking in the game? Wow.
Man, they get spanked.
Minnesota down 15.
SGA has 31.
OKC plays fantastic defense. Like, let's say that.
Yeah,
man,
they do.
Great
Ant got
defense,
5
bro.
in the second. Ant got 5 in the second half.
Hey, Q, they be everywhere. My bad.
They be everywhere.
They are ballers.
No, we talk like Ken, you mentioned earlier. Ant normally steps up in these second halves. They've done an excellent job of keeping him from doing what Ant do normally in the second half. He has 5 points in the second half. And all of it was in the third quarter. So nothing.
Nas Reed got a late game memo because he ain't doing shit for them this whole game.
And now they nervous because they down. Like you could tell how they playing. They nervous.
McDaniels got fouled out. They started targeting McDaniels because that's the person that they use to keep Ant's energy up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not being funny, but Chet had a really, really good second half. Chet blocked a couple of shots. He was rim running, and SGA was finding him at the basket. This is not a
nightmare matchup for Chet. That's why.
Yeah, it's not. You're right. You're right. But he showed up big in this game, and that's the difference in the second half.
And let's go.
Nas Reed got to play better. Nas Reed got to play better.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at Nas Reed's stats this game, he ain't do shit. He's hurting the team. He ain't doing shit.
Way better than
What are the odds? But what are the odds that Julius Randle and Nas Reed both give you stellar games in the same game?
It's not about being stellar, Q. It's about contributing, and Nas didn't contribute.
For sure.
But more than anything, you need an Ant. And Ant,
like he had to play better in the second half. He played like shit.
For sure. To me, Julius Randle gave you the production of what his normal production would be, and then gave you Nas's production. So
he did.
If you have both of them, and then this is still happening, OKC's defense is tenacious, bro. Like,
and I'm talking about 1 through 5, and they switching them.
They switch, man. Like,
that's not hacking right there. They everywhere.
No, I'm not saying it's all the time, but when they hack.
Also,
you gotta play physical, man. I mean,
also, SGA gets a couple touch fouls that are really hard to watch, but in terms of the overall, the stats don't back it up that he's having like some like James Harden, like, man, this is bad for the game type of shit. I don't agree with that. He's had a couple, but the star fouls have actually been down this season. So,
and that's what I was saying earlier in this game is, Minnesota had a chance to take hold of this game early because he was struggling out of the gate, and they had every opportunity to go on a run.
That's a fact.
But they couldn't separate themselves when you had the best player, and you had them on the ropes, but they couldn't separate themselves. And once OKC got cooking, it was too late. That train is too hard to stop. And once again, that defense came out tenacious.
But to me, the adjustment is going to be on Minnesota's head coach because it's like, bro, looking at this game, this looks like how Boston was losing in New York. They just kept on chucking up threes, thinking that was going to get them back in it. And they can take it to the rim, bro. That's what OKC's been doing all game, is taking y'all to the cup and getting and-ones or foul.
I don't think that there's an adjustment to make. That's the thing, is like, we're going to see it in Indiana as well because, we're going to see like if trends, we're going to see if the trend remains true. The reason why I thought that the Wolves should have lost to the Warriors is because I thought the Warriors were a smarter team and Steph just being great, right? And you see how in this game, the Wolves have kind of come back down to earth when you have a team that plays together, plays smart. And we're going to see on the other side in Indiana where it's like, all right, 2 games down 20 coming back. Can you do that against Indiana? Are they going to let you come back? We'll see.
So you know what this issue is with this Minnesota game in the second half is that Ant was dominant with the ball off the dribble and creating for others in that first half. Second half, they locked down on defense. So what the coach has to do now is move Ant off the ball to create those opportunities for him versus him trying to create it off the dribble because they're being uber aggressive. You look at Caruso these last couple of possessions, it's like, nah, bro, you're not getting a step back. You're not getting this. You're not getting.
Yeah.
So then now you got to move Ant off the ball to go get him in the post or mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to move him as the coaching staff, and they're not doing that. That's the reason why he struggled in the second half. So it's not about the
issue. 1,000,000% right. They left it the same all throughout the second half, and it didn't work.
The issue is, FIFO, is that I think that OKC wants that to happen because they are willing to blitz whoever the ball handler is going to be. And I don't know if they trust anybody on Minnesota to, you know what I mean? To like,
No, but you know what though? But the thing is, and this is what championship teams do when it comes down the stretch and in clutch situations, run the offense. They're not running offense. They're playing through AE, and at times throughout the game you can do that, but you can't if they're taking that away. Then it's like, okay, calm down, run the offense. Let's get the ball to AE here. They double team that we know where we're going to get the ball to. We know that the ball is going to go in rotation. But if you can't manufacture ball rotation off the dribble, then you have to manufacture it through your offense. And they didn't do that in the second half.
Let me ask y'all a question.
0 points fourth quarter.
Real quick, based off what we said earlier, it's Overreaction Tuesday. Now, after watching game 1, who do y'all say the best player in this series is now?
The refs.
And it was.
When I say the refs, all right, cool.
I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke. I still think it's Ant. I mean, B came on here just to tell everybody don't overreact to game 1.
Yeah, and I said overreaction Tuesday. I just wondered if y'all changed after watching.
It's still putting his game together as a player, which is going to be fun to see over the next 2 seasons because
he's young as hell.
He's young as hell. Isn't he like 20 years old, 21 or something? Mm-hmm. So it's for me, SGA is a smoother player. He has a smoother game. He's more efficient. Knows how to get the spots a little bit more. Of course, and that's what I'm saying. And I give him that edge in terms of he has a smoother game. I think that he's still learning how to play shooting guard, still learning how to play 2 or 3 tweener, and that's going to happen when they get more talent around him. Because this is not, for all intents and purposes, we need to remember that at the beginning of this season for Dead End Sports talking about NBA, we all agreed that them trading Cat and taking on DiVincenzo and Julius Randle, this was a potential like hedge on the season where it's like, let's see what happens. They're ahead of schedule right now. And somebody's going to want either of those guys. And I think that they're Nick. They're in the sweepstakes for KD. This is the team that he will go to help elevate.
Well, we'll see if the coach call him out next game like he did after
they showing him on the bench again. He ain't even pressed.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about like the coach called him out. Yeah, Minnesota coach called him out after game 1. I don't know where Doc is at, so I guess we'll do these super chats. I try to reach him, but zero.
Damn, we ain't got the top 5. Well, I'll do it without the graphic.
I don't know how to do it. I guess you can just say it.
I'll do it without the graphic. But before I get into that, the other thing I'm gonna say is this: in terms of a shooting guard, the best to ever do it, right? Michael Jordan. He was dominant without a system with Phil Collins, but he was dominant with Phil Jackson, Doug Collins.
You said Phil Collins.
Yeah, I said Phil Collins. Doug Collins. My bad. But he won championships with Phil Jackson. Why? Because he dominated a system, and when they needed something, they went to the system, and that's the issue. Edwards doesn't have or the coaching staff isn't relying on that. Well, talking about shooting guards. That is my power rankings this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go through all of the position by position of all time. So today is the top 5 shooting guards of all time. There should be no question about this list. At number 5, I got Clyde the Glide Drexler. At number 4, I got Allen Iverson. At number 3 is D Wade. At number 2 is Kobe Bean Bryant. And number 1 is Michael Jordan. Top 5 shooting guards all time.
What was 3 through 5?
D Wade, Kobe, MJ. Oh, 3 through 5. I'm sorry. D Wade, AI, Clyde Drexler.
I don't argue with anybody's. I don't argue with anybody's 1 through 3. I just always love to have the conversation of like, is Kobe better than D Wade? I just like to have a conversation because I think that you can make a case for either.
You can. You can.
I don't think so.
But Wade never won an MVP though, right? Regular season.
Wade better than Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe.
I know that's Ken.
Kobe won 1. I thought Kobe won.
Yeah, Kobe won.
D Wade hasn't.
2009.
You got to put Kobe above D Wade though. I just feel like Kobe could get whatever he wanted. When he wanted. D Wade was awesome.
D Wade, when he was prime, D Wade should have won an MVP. I think especially that 09 season.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But when he dunked on Ferris,
Kobe's MVP season.
No, Kobe won in 07.
No, Kobe won. That was Steve Nash.
Steve Nash won 05, 06.
Yeah.
And I thought Kobe won 07. And then somebody, I forgot who won. It was either 07 or 08.
08 was Kobe. 09 was Bron. You're right.
Yeah. And then I thought Rose win in 2010? Yeah. So between 08 and 2010, Wade should have won one because he was, even though the team was like, I don't know what the team was. I think it was like a mid-pack team, but he was balling. That was like, he wasted some prime years on them shitty ass Miami Heat teams
before Brian got there.
Yeah, the only thing I think D Wade does better than Kobe is help side defense. On ball defense, I pick him. When D Wade locked in, he was one of the better, wing defenders. So was Kobe 1-on-1. But I think help side and chase down blocks and all that type of shit. Yeah. D Wade was better than Kobe at that. But everything else is comparable. But then you look at the championships, like D Wade got more. I mean, Kobe got 5, right?
Yeah, Kobe got 5.
And D-Wade got 4?
Got
3. Yeah. So the winning is the separator for me. But Q, I you can have that argument. You can have that conversation.
Yeah.
But Nick, you kind of scoffed at AI at 4
because I don't see
AI is a 2 guard, bro.
Is Steph a 2 guard?
Don't do it.
Nah, it's different.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's funny who we choose as a 2 guard and who's a point guard.
He is definitely a 2 though. Nick, he played with a point guard. Eric Snow is the point guard. It was Eric Snow.
Don't do this with Nick, man.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying it was just interesting to see who was 3 to 5.
They look like they literally set the Iverson screen, bro. The Iverson screen.
Listen, all I'm saying is that it's interesting who we choose as a 2 versus who we choose as a 1.
Okay, but the logic can't be.
Don't do it, Q. Don't
the logic
do it,
can't
man.
be the logic. No. This
Don't do it.
It's bait, bro.
On some Beezy shit. This is for the viewers. The logic cannot be if he shoot a lot, he a point guard. That like that.
No, that's not my
that's why he said don't do it.
Hey, I'm not going down this hill. I'm not trying to make the argument. I'm just saying that's not the reason why I'm saying that. But I'm just saying.
Real quick, let me go back to that D-Wade Kobe argument because I looked it up now. I didn't even think about this. All NBA first team, Kobe had 11, D-Wade had 2. All NBA teams, Kobe was 15, D-Wade was 8. All defensive first team, Kobe 9, D-Wade 0. So all defensive teams, Kobe 12, D-Wade 3.
And Kobe D-Wade never made a defensive team.
Damn, he did 3 times. No, 3 times he was on all defensive teams.
But that's my thing is like Wade and Kobe played the same position, so Wade was probably right there, but Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Like Kobe got the nod on probably some of those, things.
I respect being his number 2. I just like having a conversation because
what about this conversation? Who's been the best white American hooper since Bird, and does Cooper Fly have a chance at being greater than them?
Gordon Hayward, and he has a better chance of being better than Gordon Hayward. I mean,
is Joker? What Joker?
Certain white American?
Yeah, white American. Yeah. I didn't even see American on that. I was just looking at white.
Y'all ever been to Serbia outside of Texas? Or
I was gonna say we can still stay in the same state Bird from. We can do Tyrese Halliburton, the best white boy.
Is it Kevin Love? Yeah, Kevin Love. It'll be Kevin Love.
Hey, somebody asked this question on Twitter, and somebody replied saying Caitlin Clark. That's
the right answer.
It would be Kevin Love.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah, you might be right.
Kevin Love over Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, you're right.
Kevin Love.
You 1,000%. Actually, I could be based on him.
What about you, B? Who do you think?
I guess Gordon. It's not a lot of white American ballers, bro.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, you could probably say Kevin Love. Yeah, he was on that championship squad. Yeah, his college years was good too. Yeah, I guess Kevin Love.
Minnesota, he was dope. He was dominant in Minnesota.
Yeah, he had a 30 and 30 in Minnesota.
But we all know those was bum points.
What you mean those was bum points,
bro?
Nigga, go to the next question.
I am.
It's like, do you respect the stats that David Lee did for the Knicks,
bro?
Hey, B know what I'm talking about. No. David Lee used to be balling for the Knicks. So those are bum points.
Wow, I didn't know the Wolves.
Nick came and shoot a chicken nugget and some ranch. Like, come on, bro. Like,
all right, from earlier, here we go. Green beans. Any thoughts on RG3 versus Clark? By the way, guess who Sage still Le'Veon Ball and Magamben are rolling with? What
engagement?
Le'Veon Ball.
All this shit is engagement.
Le'Veon Ball was crazy. He said
Ryan Clark blocked him. He said, "Why you blocked me?"
That's funny.
Hey. He said that Ryan Clark had a baby by a white woman, and that's not true.
All this shit is like engagement farming, and it's like I don't take any of this seriously, bro.
Hey, Q, this is just like the Joey Badass Rayvon.
Like, come on, bro.
It's like who cares about this? But it's like who cares about
and Logic and all these other niggas?
That's a good analogy.
No one cares about what any of these niggas.
Bro.
Yeah, like we don't care.
All that's happening right now in like media and podcasting is the podcasting and media sphere. Money is drying up with these brand deals and these investments. Spotify fumbled their bag. So people are clinging on to the whole right-wing sphere, and then you have the whole Democratic sphere where people are trying to get money, because those are still only two pools where you can get bread. The thing is, though, is that no one's actually sincere in their opinions. People are just playing characters. Like people like Emmanuel Acho and all these people, they're putting on a facade for people who don't know better, and they don't know it's wrestling, like Candace Owens and all these people. So RG3 versus Clark, I mean, who gives a fuck, number one? And number two, it's just not genuine. So it's not worth like really investing in. Click something else, guys.
Hey, I'm glad Q was here to say that, because that was perfect. That was fucking perfect.
Bro, Ryan Clark been trying to get a viral moment since he had his bags packed,
like,
ready to leave.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it ain't even about that. No, you remember? Did you see that bullshit, bro?
Niggas are thirsty for
He cut a short film of him.
Hey, but you know, I will say the one thing that's been funny about the whole thing is they were saying how RG3 always talks about his wife being milk and all that stuff, and all the evidence where they was pulling it all up and putting it all out there. That was
that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. It's gone, Shelton. He deleted the shit.
He did.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Because he quit.
They pulled receipts. He had about 40 posts talking about his milk.
It's crazy that Rob Parker
milk that. Yeah,
Rob Parker crawled so Ryan Clark could fly.
He did.
Rob Parker. That's why I fuck with Rob Parker till this day. You know what I'm saying? That nigga caught. He was the only Leroy. He was the Leroy back there, kid. He was early as hell. Niggas called him a hater. They removed him from ESPN because he kept it a bean. He said this nigga is. He said, "Well, y'all know what we say in the barbershop. This nigga is a corny ass nigga.
We don't fuck with him."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like everything is Zeus Network now, bro. Like I just.
That's it.
ESPN baddies. Like,
I'll tell y'all one clip. I know y'all hate this dude, and I keep bringing it up because it's one of the funniest clips in probably sports history.
What?
When they let Jason Whitlock host the herd. Hey kid, have you seen when he hosted the herd? He saw the Tiger Woods. Hey, bro, that's the funniest shit they let on air, bro. I promise you. I know y'all hate him. I'm not vouching for him. But that is pure comedy. Watch when Jason Whitlock hosted the herd. They never let him host the herd.
Facts. Nick not lying.
Oh man!
All this shit from just is probably like the Boondocks episode with Ann Coulter. Like,
yes,
I'm just not. I don't buy it, bro. Jason Whitlock probably cool as shit behind closed doors. All that the cultural war. Fuck out of here, bro. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even the Caitlin Clark shit. It's like I don't give a fuck.
It's not enticing, bro. Just
it don't make sense,
bro. Just put the ball in the hoop, bro. Hey, shut up and dribble was always fire. It was just a wrong messenger, bro.
It was just a white woman.
Sorry, like it was.
If we had said that here, it would be different.
All right, y'all. I'm about to head out.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming through, B.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All right, later. And so are we. We're gonna get out of here too, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Damn.